Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football. My name is Dave. I don't know where the camera is anymore. It's been too long. With the NFL Draft Livestream we do every single year. Clev will hopefully be joining us in a little bit. Happy to be joined by our special guest host Ben V. A new draft day tradition, I guess. This is fantastic. If you're watching, you can see that Ben is in fact a Jets fan. So Ben, explain to the audience why you chose to subject yourself to this.
Well, I also root for the Yankees, who are currently losing to the Red Sox right now. And I root for the Knicks, who are getting blown out by the Hawks and might be on their way to losing as a 3 seed. So to distract me from watching either of those games, here we are. But as always, good to talk to you. And I have not put this John Vilma jersey on in maybe a decade. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. I think I acquired this in like 2006 or 7, and hasn't been much reason to wear this jersey of a guy who I think is maybe 50 years old now.
Sick brag that it still fits.
It it kind of does. I've been thinner in my life, but got the linebacker size. So here we are.
Excellent. So I'm sending the link out to some various peoples here, so we can try to get some folks watching. There we go. Yeah, producing the show during the show, the way we always do. So in that vein, let me do this here. So Splash Sports has a free to enter mock draft contest that I'm going to log in now. I did one. We don't have to do it live on air. It's done. I just have to log in and pull it up here. It says I have no live contests. That would be unfun. Why is it telling me to do this now? I for sure have done this. Okay. It's a site issue, not a Dave issue, and you can never be too sure with me.
Well, they're almost through the national anthem, Dave, so I think you might have like 10 seconds.
Yeah. I am only slightly better at producing the show than Cash Patel is at running the FBI. I'm sober, though.
But you don't drink. Yeah, that's not even a fair comparison.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't make fun of somebody with such an obvious problem.
That's very big of you, Dave.
No, don't expect it to continue. Okay, let's see here. How's this looking? Okay, this is good. So we got the first 3 here.
There you go.
And Paul said maybe it's not considered live yet. I mean, that's fair, but no, they just made it so I had to click through. I mean, this is like the number 9 fantasy sports betting site. So
I was gonna say I have not heard of this one that much. So
Splash is actually really good. Not a sponsor, but Splash is very good. They're really good. Yeah, they could be. They're good for Survivor. So like NFL Survivor, March Madness Survivor. They have really good Survivor pools on there that I really enjoy. I would never go to them instead of like DraftKings for DFS. Yeah. But Survivor pools are good. They're the only one they have something quite like this. So this is cool. Free to enter, 2,500 to first, top 100 win something. So we do have to keep that in mind as we reveal the picks here, that I'm trying to win this contest as well. I'm not necessarily trying to predict what I think will happen. I'm trying to win the contest, which is 2 separate things. Right, because the goal is to beat our opponents. That's always the goal. It's not always right.
You're always playing 4D chess, Dave. Yeah, it's always more complicated than I understand. Well, I think you're definitely going to get your first one there. I don't think there's any debate about number 1 overall.
Yes, no, he is currently minus 20,000 to 1 to go first overall, meaning that you'd have to put a $20,000 down to win $100.
I don't advise anyone do that. It's actually really funny to me that, given that he's the most obvious number 1 pick possible, he still didn't even want to go. He's just home in Florida with his family. He's like, where are they doing it? Pittsburgh? Man, I'm good. I'm gonna stay at my parents' mansion in Coral Gables instead. Yeah, Pittsburgh, underrated city though. Very fun.
I can see that. However, what if you weren't a sports person?
Oh, if you weren't a sports person and you didn't like basically the kind of food that you almost exclusively have at ball games, you probably wouldn't like Pittsburgh, but
Okay.
it's the way they have their stadium set up is pretty sweet. It's all kind of in one place, but they're not like cannibalizing each other. And I've always thought it's pretty cool that all their teams are the same colors. It's like almost like a big high school where you could wear like a Penguins jersey to a Steelers game and like just
Mhm.
blend right in and like anything and like the Pirates too. So I've always thought Pittsburgh's kind of a sneaky cool spot.
Hence the Wiz Khalifa song "Black and Yellow."
Not familiar with that, Dave. Is that a rap?
Yes, it's a song from the hip hop genre, from 2009, actually. But he's from Pittsburgh, and thus black and yellow is the color because it's what they all wear. So,
Well, far be it me as a Jets fan to harp on something that hasn't been good since 2009. So
it would be it would be cool if they got an NBA team and they just wore like Palermo pink for no reason.
no, yeah, okay, that'd be cool to you. It'd be the worst thing ever for everybody else.
Completely ruin it.
Pittsburgh Supersonics just to make it hurt.
Oh man. Well, we have 8 minutes until the draft begins. The first pick is going to be Fernando Mendoza. So I think we'll talk about the Michigan spring game.
God, please don't make me do that. I'm every year. That's like the most overhyped thing where you're just so geeked up to watch a game, and then you're like, oh right, we're gonna try 3 downfield passes the whole time, and it's just so unsatisfying.
And you would think that the college coaches would learn from the fact that the NFL draft isn't even football, and we're broadcasting it live, and there's going to be like 8 billion people watching, but nobody wants to watch their spring practice. And maybe they should change the spring practice to some way people actually want to watch it.
I would love to watch a real one. I'd actually rather, but this is because I'm a sicko. I would rather watch actual practice than a fake game that isn't where they're not even tackling and Bryce Underwood's going to go like 3 for 10 and then just go sit down. Like that is very unsatisfying. But then the other thing is that that's maybe a uniquely Michigan experience where you look at the highlights from the Ohio State spring game and it's like, oh, look, the Scarlet team beat the gray team like 40-30. In Michigan, it's always like 6-0. And you're just like, God, this is the worst.
I mean, that's true. A lot of other schools do have a lot more scoring in their spring games than Michigan does. Like just in general, the whole thing is boring. They should actually just do the same scrimmage practice, but bring in another team, like Michigan versus Eastern.
That'd be really fun. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would watch that. And I think a real channel would actually put that on too. So, I mean, but far be it for me to tell these people how to make bajillions of dollars. The thing I am interested in with not just this round, but really this draft in the like, now we're fully in the all these guys had NIL at some point era is how much do guys who stuck around one more year in college, clearly because they could get paid in college, even though they were like maybe ready for the pros, how much does that final year help or hurt them anymore? I'm thinking about a guy like Drew Aller or Carson Beck or Nussmeier, where it's like, are you what you were that last year, or are you kind of what you were for that whole like 5-year now body of work? Because by all accounts, I would say Drew Aller lost like $20 million last year by being as bad as he was. But do NFL teams look at that and think, yeah, he just went back because he could still make some money? It wasn't like because he wasn't ready. Maybe it's overthinking it, but I just wonder how that's going to affect the way organizations view these guys. Is like, was that a black mark against him, or was it just like kind of he was being smart because he could still get paid?
I think it's very dependent on the position. And I think that the place where we're going to start to see this impact the most is at the running back position, where, especially for fantasy purposes, a 4-year running back in college going into the NFL, I mean, I don't care. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter who it was, because any top running back is gone after 3 years, right? You don't have to learn the game that much, right? So how could you possibly be a good running back for the NFL and be in college for 4 years? But now we're seeing that, and we're going to start seeing it, especially like in the mid rounds, a player like, say, Nick Singleton, who without NIL, or Katron Allen, both the Penn State guys, without NIL, they're both out last year, 100%, right? They only went back to school because of NIL. And so we have to be more careful not to judge them based on that. The other thing for this is going to be not just the fact they stayed in school, but the fact they switched schools so much.
Also the transfer component of it. I don't think NFL teams are going to care that much, but maybe there are guys who it just becomes a question in their interview where it's like, hey, why did you transfer to 3 times throughout your career, even if you're good? Like it's not necessarily a negative, but if this still college age kid doesn't have a really good answer for that, then it maybe just kind of raises red flags a little for, people who are deciding who to give tens of millions of dollars.
Well, they're all going to have a good answer for that because their agent's going to give them a good answer for that. The question is the answer good? And it can be. So, like, for example, Justice Haynes next year will be a 4-year player coming out of his 3rd school. So the question is, why did he transfer so many times? Well, I went to Michigan to be a starter. I was a starter there. But then they had Jordan Marshall. They brought in Savion Hyder, and they decided not that I could only stay if I took a pay cut, that $4 million a year wasn't worth it. They could use that money elsewhere. So I left and went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Right. Now, maybe that's saying, well, Michigan thought this other situation was better, but that's not necessarily true. They could just use the money better for Michigan. It's not really a statement on Justice Haynes. If Justice Haynes wanted to play for free, he'd still be on Michigan.
See, this is why you need to be somebody's agent, Dave, because that was a very cogent way to walk through what I think is ultimately just a college kid being like, I don't know, I'm sick of this place. But that was a way better articulation of what he's actually should be saying. I also wonder, we said this I remember specifically thinking this about Ole Miss during one of these drafts when I was on.
It was last year.
Yeah, where it was clearly going to be a rough night if you're an Ole Miss fan, just watching like 5 of your players go in the first 100 picks. I think that will be true for Clemson tonight, where it's just going to be like, oh my God, our entire defense went in the first round, and how were we so miserably bad? Like Ohio State is going to have a bunch of guys get drafted, but they won the national championship a couple of years ago. That's not really that much of a surprise. Clemson's been getting worse year over year for a long time now, but they're still this year going to put a ton of guys in the league, and a bunch are going to be 1st-round picks. So it's kind of a head scratcher, but it's still a testament to their players, I guess.
And their pocketbook, because the truth is most of those players should have left Clemson for better opportunities before this past year, but Clemson can match whatever their offer would be from other places. The other reason that players will switch teams is that teams we're seeing this real interesting, that the best teams now who want to win right away won't pay top dollar for developing talent. And an example for that in this draft is potential 1st-round pick Colton Hood, who started at Michigan and is now at Tennessee. And Colton Hood was a really decent prospect and was getting paid like a decent prospect. But Michigan was like, we're ready to go win right now. So we need to pay all this money to Will Johnson. We need to pay all this money to Mike Sanderstill. We need to pay all this money to whoever. Yeah. So you're not going to play this year. We're not going to pay you to sit. Tennessee was like, we will pay you what Michigan's paying you right now to come sit here. Yeah. So we can use you in a couple of years. But Michigan was like, well, we got to retain Kenneth Grant. We got to get Donovan Edwards back. We got to do all this. And so Colton Hood, through really no fault of his own, besides just the age he happened to be, leaves Michigan to go to Tennessee, and now he's a potential 1st-round pick. Yeah, the fact he left Michigan has but it's not a reflection on him. Like, so much of this will be a reflection of the financial situations of the schools themselves, more than a reflection on the student, on the athlete.
All the more reason why it might not be the sort of penalty that it was before the NIL era. I also, I wonder, like, in every draft, who the like crazy overhyped guy will be. I know there's
Ty
only
Simpson.
Well, Ty Simpson is there, but I mean, PFF doesn't have him anywhere close to a first rounder, and frankly, we haven't really seen him play that much college football that well. I really wonder why he's there, unless there's some line on the fact that somebody's going to trade up and, again, like, overdraft for, it's always a quarterback. Like, is he really worth, like, selling the farm for? I think I've seen him play like 3 good games.
So he's minus 350 right now to be a first round pick. So he's going to be a first round pick.
Who then is that candidate then? Like, is it somebody who trades up, or is there somebody in the top 10 who you're looking at and think like,
no, it's Pittsburgh at 21.
Ugh.
They're going to run back the Kenny Pickett thing, but with Mike McCarthy instead.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. That's where I think it's going. It's most likely to happen. But you have Simpson, who like barely played at all, but played at Alabama. And then you have a player like Ted Hurst, who's a wide receiver from Georgia. It's either Georgia State or Georgia Southern. I feel so bad. I always get them confused.
Georgia State.
Caption's on. Sorry, great idea from Megan there, but captions on the TV. Georgia State. He was a 4-year player at Georgia State. So he has good numbers, tested well at the combine. But my question for him would be, in an interview, if I was a team, would be, why do you suck at football? And the reason why I would ask that would be, you stayed at Georgia State for 4 years. Why? Like, if you're that good, if you're that athletic, and put up those numbers at Georgia State, why are you there as a senior? Why are you there as a junior?
I'm only know this because I'm reading his Wikipedia. He apparently also played at Valdosta State.
Yes, so he did go Valdosta to Georgia State.
The same question applies, though, for what you're saying.
Small Georgia school. Now,
yes,
for all I know, Ted Hurst might have 2 kids already, and he's like, I had to be close to my children. Like, and Georgia didn't want me. Like, there could be a real answer to this. He could be like, I'm actually academically inclined, and I didn't want to leave the long-term project I was working on in the sociology department at Georgia State.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the answer. That's 100%. I mean, just looking him up, like, he runs a 4.4 and he's 6'4", 205. Like, that Georgia should want that guy. That's
or Georgia Tech or NC State. Like
Georgia Tech is a harder sell. I think that's a really strenuous academic situation. Georgia, though, being the premier program in the state, clearly they had a radar on him. Yeah, that's I mean, and that's the kind of question where if you ask the guy himself, you're actually going to get the least accessible answer. You sort of have to ask around for that, and I do wonder how that's going to work. But I think there's always guys who are like raw talent, who an NFL team, at least one that's well coached and run, can say, that guy didn't do a whole lot or really make much of a name for himself, but he's got the tools that we can kind of sharpen and make him into something. If you're 6'4", 200 pounds, and you run a 4.4, you have the things that nobody can teach. So
well, and he had production. He had production in school as well, which is important. A lot of great athletes not good at football out there, but Ted Hurst, obviously, at least at that level, could play. And so, like, now to me, if I'm comparing Ted Hurst to Justice Haynes, I'm like, the red flag is on Hurst for being at the small school his entire career. Now, if he had come out after his junior year, and it's like, well, I could have gone to Georgia, but I'm going to the league instead, that's one thing. But to stay for your senior year, why didn't you get paid? You told me Georgia State was able to match what so-and-so.
Right.
I mean, Michigan could have used him. right? So,
well, not really, because he's a wide receiver. So every
Oh,
time Michigan gets
yeah.
a great wide receiver,
That's
I'm
true.
like, yeah.
But okay, but realistically, no real academic like strong like hurdles like a Georgia Tech. He could have gone to UCF. It's a Big 12 program now, not far away. Why weren't you at UCF?
Yeah,
Right?
or South Carolina. I mean, yeah, the entire region.
Yeah. And so that would be my question for him if I was one of these interviews. And since I don't know the answer to that, even though I like a lot about his profile, he's really a small school 4-year wide receiver, which small school 4-year wide receivers that go in the first 2 rounds recently, Sky Moore in 2022 or 21, and Devontae Adams in 2014. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad. No, they were early declares. They weren't 4-year. They were early declares. All sorts of 4-year players. So, yeah, had he come out as a junior, I'd be like, oh, are you the next Devontae Adams? But now it's just like, oh, you're just another 4-year small school guy. Why are you at a small school? Like, Eastern Michigan should never have a player drafted ever again. Because if you're going to have to get drafted at Eastern, you should be making money going somewhere else.
Well, somebody's got to go to Eastern to work at the data center they're forcing on Ypsilanti to service Ann Arbor. That's how that goes. They just did a wonderful celebration of Pittsburgh glory, and Ben Roethlisberger got a big old hand. I hope none of these fans read his Wikipedia.
Oh, they're fully aware.
Yeah,
they're fully aware. Yeah, he's in that Deshaun Watson category where like I'll never be sad.
I think like, I'm learning in real time also that everybody in Fernando Mendoza's family looks exactly the same, which is great.
Are you allowed to say that about Cubans?
I am, Dave. Yes. I'm
okay. Oh, okay. Excellent.
Specifically me.
Okay.
No, I couldn't tell the difference between him, his brother, his obviously other brother, and his dad. They all look like
the family genetics are very strong with them.
Well, yes. Hey, they make some athletes.
So speaking of Fernando Mendoza, a bet that I made so I'm limited on FanDuel. On FanDuel, I can't bet more than $10 on draft props anymore. Because I keep taking them to the cleaners every year.
Nice.
So I'm limited. So I put my $10 on Fernando Mendoza to be the first overall pick. He is currently minus 20,000 to 1.
Yes, you're not.
I got him at 3-1.
Nice.
Because I made this bet on October 25th.
That was a good idea. It's good that they didn't just delete it because it was inconvenient. I don't know how many rules there are around that kind of stuff.
The only limit to how much I would have placed on this bet is how much FanDuel would place on me and how much Megan would yell at me. That's it. Like,
those are good criteria.
If I had gotten the clearance for 500, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Like I was like by Halloween, I was that sure of this. She's saying more. Like she's in the crowd at Price is Right. She's saying go higher, go higher. So
after they beat Oregon, I think it was clearly like, okay, this is real now.
Yeah.
Oregon in the regular season, not the.
Yes. It was either after Oregon or after Penn State. It was one of those two. And
the Penn State game was really good, but beating them didn't mean nearly as much as it.
But the way that they won with that march down the field at the end and the
that was cool.
The crazy catch, like it was like, oh, he's going to be on everybody's radar now.
Yeah,
get there, and also everybody else was falling off. Like Arch wasn't going to be it. There was nobody else to. Step up.
My pick going into last college football season was that the national championship was going to be Texas versus Clemson. So that's how much you should let me pick your bets on anything.
Just a bit outside.
I also love stats that I'm already beyond Mendoza at this point. I love stats that are never stats. And I heard that Jeremiah Love has apparently never fumbled. I love that. I love it when it's literally never happened before. Like, linemen who've never given up a sack, you're just kind of like, can he? Like, is it even possible? Is he just like, is he the
Yeah.
mountain? Or like Jeremiah Love, if he never fumbled in college football, there's no way he ever fumbled in like Pop Warner either. He's probably never dropped a football in his entire life.
Yeah, I love stats like that too. The ones I know the most. So Mike Hart never fumbled at Michigan until his final game. He fumbled twice against Florida.
He definitely fumbled in that game.
Yes. Which is a great one. And then I like the ones too where it's not 0, but it's still such a low number. You're like, how did this ever happen? So one of my there's a lineman now, a really good young one, who's only had like 3 holding calls ever in his entire career.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember who it is. It's some it's not Panay Sewell, but it's somebody like 5-6 years in the league. Great lineman. He's only got like 3 holding calls in his entire career. And it's like, those probably weren't even holding.
Yeah.
If it's only been 3 times, he's probably never even actually.
Yeah, the guy probably flopped or fell over or something. I really feel like Drew Bledsoe is kind of underselling what Fernando Mendoza is and can be, but that's fine. If that's their comparison, whatever.
So it's funny. I wonder if this is where the age difference comes in here, because I think Drew Bledsoe is one of the best quarterback prospects we've seen, especially for the game, how it was played at that time.
I'll give you prospects, but I won't say I think if Fernando Mendoza ends up having Drew Bledsoe's career, he would consider that to be not meeting his goals.
You mean if he were to get hurt and be completely usurped by 6th-round pick?
Yes. That would not be great. And be the slowest human being I've ever seen.
Did you just hear that?
I did.
Okay. So that's obnoxious. Sorry, everybody. Give me 1 second. We'll do that there.
All right, Dave, you won 2 cents on your $10 bet. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, I made it when it's 3-1. So that's $40 locked
you
up.
Did.
Okay.
You did a great thing.
Well, let's see, because the rest of my bets are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. I've got like $100 in bets total. So just getting 40 of it back right off the bat with an absolute lock is pretty nice. Thanks, FanDuel, for limiting me to $10 per bet.
I think there's also something for a team based in Vegas that they do really have to go like a hard pivot away from anybody who seems remotely fun or controversial at all. So like the fact that Fernando Mendoza is basically just like mayonnaise as a person is like, yeah, we can give you $50 million to come be young in Vegas, and like we trust that you'll actually show up to the games on time. That's probably not the case for a lot of players.
So Paul with a good comment here says Mendoza is such a dork. I don't know if it's endearing or I hate it.
Well, it sounds like I know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I think you changed your answer all the questions. Fernando Mendoza is always filming a TikTok. And once you just view him through that lens, he's just always filming a TikTok. It becomes a bit more endearing. Tiresome, but endearing.
He's very active on LinkedIn, which I have to respect.
Do you?
I do have to. Yes. It's an underutilized platform, Dave. I feel like, he's really got a handle on it. But I mean, he's also just like clearly this is a guy who has it all going for him. I feel like it's hard to think of somebody who you'd want to try to alter the trajectory of your franchise with. So
yeah,
of course the Jets are going to pick the guy right after him, and prayers up for that guy, because
now you are holding a degree from Indiana, but can I make a statement about Indiana's academic prowess real quick?
You can state whatever you desire, Dave.
So Fernando Mendoza goes from Cal to Indiana. I don't feel like the academic requirements were getting in the way of him being able to do good at football if he was already successful at Cal.
That is That is not controversial in any way, Dave. I will say to absolutely no one who cares that the program I went to at Indiana is the #1 ranked program in the country in its chosen field of public affairs and public policies. So you can say whatever you want about IU. Moral of the story is they did just go 16-0 in football, which
they did.
To me is yet another point in the line of something I've believed for a while, which is a little sacrilegious for some schools to hear. I don't think there's any such thing as a basketball school. I think basketball school is a complete myth. I think basketball schools are schools whose football team isn't good and whose basketball team has been good, and that's it. I think every single person at Kentucky would say, Kentucky's a basketball school, we're a powerhouse, this and that. If Kentucky even won like the majority of their games in the SEC schedule this year, they would lose their mind. It would be the most fanatical reaction. If Kentucky went 16-0 in football, none of them would care if they lost every single basketball game that year. I genuinely think that there are no basketball schools. There are just teams whose football hasn't gotten good yet.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously schools that don't have football.
Well, like, then it's hard to win, Dave, if you don't feel your team.
So like Gonzaga is a basketball school. Jets pick is in. I have Reese here. Paul thinks it's going to be Bailey. I think it'd be hilarious if they just go Omar Cooper right here.
Jeremiah Love. Why not? Just do it.
Actually, I have Love to go second overall at 125-1. I bet I made a long time ago. So yes, please just do that.
I mean, I think Jeremiah Love is going to be the quickest player from this draft to become an All-Pro. I think he is unbelievably good. So
yes,
I think he has Jahmyr Gibbs potential for sure.
But only bad teams draft running backs high when they're not ready to win immediately.
Dave,
so it could be the Jets.
Who's drafting right now, Dave?
Yeah, that's very true. All right,
only bad teams draft #2 overall every single year.
It was David Bailey.
Yeah, he's really fast. Their defense was awesome. He's honestly probably taken a pay cut to go from Texas Tech to the Jets. So credit to him.
Yeah. Well, I guess this also means I get the next pick wrong, so that's fun.
Should you be? I mean, I know that everybody has Reese and Styles really high. Should you be drafting linebackers in the top 5?
No, but Reese is an edge player, not a linebacker. He's a linebacker the same way Aiden Hutchinson is a linebacker.
Okay, so not.
Yeah. Now, CJ Allen, Jacob Rodriguez, Sonny Styles, these are actual linebackers. Styles, though, I never rated Styles highly watching Ohio State. I always thought that he was the beneficiary of the great players around him.
Yes.
But the way he tested at the combine cannot be ignored. It's very possible I was wrong, and either they're all good or like maybe Reese isn't that good, and Styles and Downs were helping him.
I think you are remembering the same moments in specific Michigan-Ohio State games where Sonny Styles blew assignments and Michigan had like 30-yard runs to his side.
Yes, he was young then, though.
I always came out of those games thinking like, oh, this guy's overrated. But like, no, it actually turns out he's really, really good. It's just Blake Corum is also good. So yeah, I think I read that there are 16 people who got invited to the combine, and 5 of them are Ohio State Buckeyes. So they're gonna be cleaning up here pretty soon after these first 2.
So this is where I think the draft can get a little bit interesting here with Arizona. Also, clock's only 8 minutes this year, which means we'll be done by like 11:15.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah. Look, with all that extra time, I'll pursue my passions.
Well, I have a dentist appointment at 8:00 in the morning tomorrow. So,
ooh, that's rough.
Yeah. So the Cardinals here, they should take defense.
Well, maybe not this high, but they need a quarterback in this draft.
They don't need one in this draft. They got Brissett for this year. Keep Brissett.
Okay.
Get some players to help build for this year. Suck. Get your quarterback next year.
Part of that won't be very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they've got a first-year coach, too. So they can be bad this year. He won't get fired.
So Kyler Murray obviously beats out J.J. McCarthy for that job, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Well, that's good for JJ. JJ should sit for like a season and a half if he can.
Well, he kind of already did, being hurt.
Yeah, but that's not the same. That's not the same thing. He needs to like just be, and he was only 21 his rookie year, so he'll be he might get a chance.
Years.
Right, he might get a chance to start again when he's 24, and he'll still be younger than Bo Nix was when Bo Nix came to the league.
Yeah, I mean, if Jacoby Brissett is like the player whose image they're going to be having in like a 50 by 100 poster outside the stadium in Phoenix this year, that's a rough sign. But let's see, maybe they do something fun. I know it's dumb to take running backs this high, but I really do think Jeremiah Love is going to be the best player of this draft very quickly.
Yes, the issue is that the running backs do not help you win games.
But Arizona Cardinals, I don't know that they care so much about that. That's true. That's not one of their big priorities.
That's true. If the owner's just trying to sell some jerseys, that could work here. But I sent this in the college football thread, but of all the running backs picked in the top 20 since 2010, only 3 had winning records with the team that drafted them. Todd Gurley and Jahmyr Gibbs went to teams that were already good. Zeke as well, but they hit Jin with Dak in the same draft.
Right, yeah.
Or else it wouldn't have worked. Everybody else had a losing record with the team that drafted them.
I want there to be somebody who David Bailey talks to on camera who can just be like, dude, do you know what just happened to you, man? Like, this is like, you look really excited. You shouldn't be nearly as happy as you are. Like, if you're good, your Achilles is going to explode. And if you're bad, well, then yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, the Jets have had some decent picks recently.
I know, Dave. I know.
Doesn't lead to any wins. Like, it doesn't help you win football games, so they have had some decent picks.
It's such a bummer that the Jets went the entire season without an interception. And I still feel like the defense might be worse next year. So, yeah. And now the Patriots are good again. So there is no justice in the world.
I don't know if you saw the thing that Paul put in the chat that Rory McIlroy has won 2 Masters since the Jets has had an interception.
Rory McIlroy is 2 days younger than me. So,
well, what are you doing with your life?
My life? Yeah, well, yeah, there it is. I'm doing this, Dave. This is where I'm at.
JJ McCarthy was born on my 21st birthday.
Oh man. Wow.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Yeah. Want to hear about my 8-track collection?
I do. No, I want to hear the high school football story of somebody on your team getting just destroyed by Josh Ross. Love that story.
That was friend of the family. The Cardinals did take Love.
Hey, I think you're like 2 seconds ahead of me.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. I could have placed a bet right in that little interim.
So I want to say this right now so I can chop it up to TikTok. The Arizona Cardinals have just taken Jeremiah Love 3rd overall in the 2026 NFL Draft. Before the 2029 NFL Draft, their entire coaching staff will be different. They will not have a winning season by then. And Jeremiah Love will already be in a contract dispute trying to get out of Arizona.
Book it.
Put it on wax.
Put it out there. What is his suit made of? It's like it's got like glitter built into it or something.
It's made from the remnants of Boston College defenders that try to tackle him.
They didn't try very hard. He had some of the like most awesome just like hurdles and one-handed catches and stuff, and it's the kind of highlights that Notre Dame just never has. Like in terms of thinking about back to like guys who stayed at a small school and didn't go somewhere bigger, Jeremiah Love feels like an LSU player who just like made his way to Notre Dame instead, and he's just not he's not the kind of guy they ever have.
So I can explain that a little bit. So Jeremiah Love is from the St. Louis area, and he is very academically inclined. And his entire recruiting battle, like almost from the start, was Michigan, Notre Dame.
There you go.
It was like, I'm going north, and I want to go for school. I'm going to either Michigan or Notre Dame.
They're showing his high school, the kids at his high school losing their mind. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him. Great player. I'm glad he's at Notre Dame anymore.
He is so good.
But he is so good.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, he's going to be a successful player in the NFL, but the truth is, so Saquon Barkley, so is Bijan Robinson. Ashton Genty will be. Now Larry's a little bit better. But it's not going to matter for the Cardinals. Right. Taking a running back at 3 when your team is bad is something that bad franchises do, and they will continue to be bad as a result of this. December, the Giants were bad for taking Saquon second overall.
Would you throw the Bijan pick in there as well? Like, are the Falcons still bad even though they have Bijan? Yeah, I think
exactly.
Pretty
like
much are.
Running back is almost like tight end. Like, it's a finishing piece that you put on a high quality team. Right. Part of the reason I was so mad when the Lions took Gibbs and they traded up for him, or traded back and they took him, was that I underestimated how good the Lions already were. And it wasn't until a couple weeks later on the show when I was talking with Scott and I hit me in real time, I was like, oh my goodness, the Lions think their Super Bowl window is open.
Yeah.
It just came to me like the Lions think they could win this year, and they made the NFC title game that year.
And then they were really good.
Right. So I was just wrong about where they were when they made that pick. But that was a good position. Let's say that the Chiefs took Jeremiah Love at number 9. Right. Now we're talking.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's, when you have a team that's ready to go, maybe I could squint and see maybe the Commanders, if Jaden Daniels really is him.
Yeah.
That maybe
That's a good one.
Maybe that could work there, but running backs shouldn't go high because they don't contribute to wins. And if you are a shitty team, you need to win games.
Yeah. Well, speaking of a shitty team, the who do you have for now? It's a bunch of linebackers. So
I have Carnell Tate going 4th to the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
And I have Love going behind this. So Love was still on the board for me, and I saw them taking Tate. I think it's going to be Tate or Jordan Tyson, but I think Carnell Tate, when you have a quarterback like Cam Morton, you have Wan'Dale Robinson and Alec Ayamanor. I think Carnell Tate is a perfect wide receiver 1 to put with them. And at this point, we have just seen it. Like, if a Ohio State wide receiver has underwhelming numbers, but performs well athletically, they're good. They're good.
Pick the Ohio State receiver is like not a bad just metric for that. I personally would probably take Caleb Downs, not to just have this be a glazing of the Buckeyes for an hour and a half, but like, I think he's the best player that was on that team. He's just...
Yes, Caleb Downs is might be the best football player in this draft. Caleb Downs was great at Alabama as a freshman. He caused Michigan all sorts of problems in that Rose Bowl until Blake Corum ran him the fuck over to win the game.
It did happen.
It did happen. And then he stiff-armed Kool-Aid McKinstry on the way to the end zone. But he was keeping track. But the thing is, the safety position, again, on a bad team, isn't going to help you win a lot of games, right? Kyle Hamilton is so useful because he plays for the Ravens. If Kyle Hamilton was on the Jets, he wouldn't do as much. So I don't think if you're a bad team, you should be looking to take a safety in this position, even though I think Caleb Downs is. I mean, I think he is a fantastic. To me, he's like a 99 out of 100 on the prospect list. He is to safety what Jamar Chase was to wide receiver.
You know, Dave, you needed an example for a bad team, and the Titans are literally picking right now, but you still went with the Jets as to say where Kyle Hamilton would be if he was on a bad team. And I just really think that was unnecessary and gratuitous. You had a team right in front of you that's already really bad. But so this is my first college fantasy player who's now moving into the pros. So
Well,
I don't know
all
what
right
that
then.
means.
So you should have at least 3 of your retainer picks. So what that means is that when we do the NFL draft starting Monday the 2nd, whatever that is, the first 3 rounds, you're just going to tell me what 3 players you want from your team to join your NFL squad. So
Sounds
you
good.
will get Carnell Tate. I presume he'll be one of the 3 you want to keep.
I am gonna very likely keep him. Yeah.
Those picks are tradable. So if you need more, you can reach out. I have one that I'm looking to get rid of. So if you need more, let me know. If you don't have enough good if you don't have enough good players coming through, you can try to trade them to somebody who might need more. Scott always needs more.
Yeah. My approach toward the end of the college season was basically to just try to have a defense that just would blow up and get me like half my points for the week and see if it worked. It didn't work very often, but
yeah,
I'm getting better at that logic. I also just needed time. I love how far they make them walk.
Yes. Yeah, especially since they shortened the time on the clock.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I think Carnell Tate is a fantastic pick. I think he's worthy of being the first receiver off the board. My wide receiver 1 in this class is Jordan Tyson, but that's also from a fantasy perspective. From a real life football perspective, I think Carnell Tate's actually a better, safer pick. And at this point, I mean, this guy played with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka. Did he have? No, he's a 4th-year player, so he had JSN as a freshman, right? Like
all those guys. What's so great is all those guys were on the same team together, but the guy that Ohio State had returning punts was Caleb Downs.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at these catches where he literally just catches a curl and runs around everybody. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Tate can play inside and outside. I think he's smooth off the line. He's good in contested catch situations. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, but
clip it.
I think,
for TikTok.
but I think that he's very likely to be in that like Terry McLaurin range,
which I'll take. I mean,
yes, which if you're the Titans, you're like, yes,
that's a great play.
Prime Terry McLaurin, just throw him on our squad. 100%. Absolutely. You know, I think he has a very high floor. I think it's a very good floor. And honestly, at this point, a wide receiver from Ohio State might just be a take, especially because Jameson Williams started there and only transferred out because Chris Olave came back for his senior year.
All right. This has all been great. We really need to go like 5 minutes without talking about Ohio State now. That just needs to.
Well, unfortunately, they're going to dominate the top of this draft. And I have Sonny Styles coming in here at number 5 of the Giants. And I think fair play to them. They won the championship 2 years ago. They had a great defense this year. They got a lot of great players. You know, I hate the Buckeyes. You know, I hope they lose every game forever, but we can't hide from the fact that these players are great. They deserve to get drafted here, and they accomplished a lot in college.
And similar to
and they're 1-3 against Michigan.
Similar to 2023 Michigan, I think it's actually a better indicator of a team's national championship capabilities when it's putting guys into the first round of the draft 2 years later, not just the next year.
Yeah.
So Michigan did that after 2024 when that team was actually garbage, but they had more first rounders the draft coming after that because those guys were all really good when they were juniors too.
Yep. Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham,
Loveland,
and then Will Johnson obviously should have been. I know he fell because of the knee, but like by talent, clearly.
Right.
Right. So they really had 4 of them. The Giants pick is in. Alex is not in the chat. He might be working. He's on the West Coast. He might be like doing a Mariners game or something. But have no fear. Whatever pick they take, I'm going to trash it and send the clip to him.
Good. As it should be. Is Jordan Tyson the guy who's like irrationally large? Is he like 6'5" or something?
I don't think so. He's been injured a lot, and I think he's made some unfair criticism for that.
Okay.
But
no,
he's
6'2". Never mind.
Yeah. He started at Colorado and then moved to Arizona State. And people want to talk about his injuries, but he broke his clavicle, which, like, okay, that can happen. It's not going to hamper him as a receiver going forward. And this last year, he hurt his hamstring and shut himself down because he's going to the NFL. Yeah. JSN did the same thing. Like, I don't think he's like some injured guy all the time. To me, the biggest thing is that the year he was healthy, the offense still ran through Scatterboo.
Right. One of the things that I really, I'm really going to not look forward to in the next 10 minutes or so when Jordan Tyson is up there, based on your projection here, as I just looked him up. He's apparently 6'2", 200 pounds. That is exactly the height and weight that I am. But, somehow it doesn't look the same on this frame as it's going to when I see this dude walk out there. But I'm just going to pretend that, like, for a moment, if I was out on the stage, that's what I would look like. And I'll let myself have 5 seconds of that good feeling.
Yeah, well, I'm 5'9" and weigh the same as Derrick Henry, so it could be worse.
That rocks. No, that's actually... I want 5'9" Derrick Henry. Is that just Maurice Jones-Drew? I think that's
maybe it is. Just an angry little ball of hate. Yeah, no, actually, I'm under Derrick Henry now. Thanks, Wagovi. But
hey,
for a stretch, yeah, I was there. Now Barry Sanders was 5'9", 225, 215 to 225, depending on the year. So maybe I'll get down to the Barry range. I'm slightly faster in a straight line, but.
Yes. Yeah. You and Barry, when I think of you, I'm like, I just imagine all the times I've hung out with Barry Sanders. That like helps me understand who I'm dealing with. Oh, they just showed Derrick Henry scoring a touchdown. Remember how the Ravens didn't make the playoffs last year?
Don't remind me. Because neither did the Lions. And the Ravens, since I moved to the DC area, the Ravens became my backup team, my AFC team. And there were struggles. Yeah, it's okay. The Lions are good. And they both missed the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay. Michigan won March Madness. Made up for everything.
It sure did.
Yeah. Nothing can hurt me now.
How do you feel about the Giants long-term with Dart as the option? Do you feel like they're actually out of a death spiral?
I am 100% ambivalent. I think it could easily go either way. I think that Jackson Dart is right now, Anakin Skywalker arguing with Mace Windu about what to do with Palpatine, and we don't know which way he's going to go. I mean, that's a prequel, so we did know, but at the time he didn't know. And like, whichever way it's going to be spectacular. He's either got 6 Pro Bowls in his future, or he's the next Johnny Manziel. There's no like in between here.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah, he's not Chase Daniel holding a clipboard for the next 15 years, right? It's either Hall of Fame or insurance fraud. Like
I'm just imagining Brian Daboll pulling out a purple lightsaber and then getting his arms chopped off and kicked out a window and sucked into space.
Meanwhile, Emperor Palpatine, who is definitely Cam Scatterboo, infinite power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mace Windu got kicked out a window and then ended up an offensive analyst for Nebraska once he hit the ground. It's like, okay, well, that's great. All right.
So the Giants.
Oh, Reese. Yeah.
Right. So the Giants take Arvell Reese, which again, I think is the right pick given who's on the board. I had Sonny Styles, but Reese was still there. So
they said that they expect almost 1 million people to come through and like physically attend all the draft festivities this week and weekend.
Yeah, we had like 1.2 in Detroit.
Oh my God. Could it possibly be worth it? Like, does this actually? Okay. All right.
So I want, like next year this show doesn't happen is probably going to be when the draft is in DC and it's on the National Mall. Because like when the new stadium is finished and they're going to bring it here and all that, like a National Mall, like imagine they make the stage on the Capitol and like the backstage is like the Capitol public area and they walk out to like the inauguration spot and like
there's no way they would let them do that.
Is it an election year? Because if it's an election year, if somebody's up for re-election, they might let them do that because that would be metal as fuck.
It would be cool. I think they would probably do it somewhere closer to the stadium, which then that all matters in terms of the redevelopment of that whole area, what that's all going to look like. There's already a ton of open space over there, so like I don't know if they're going to keep that or like there's a bunch of cool soccer fields and stuff. I don't know if like that stays or like whatever, but they're clearly going to put the stadium in and needs some area around it. So I'm assuming there'll be some giant, parking or whatever. But the mall would be cool. That would be very cool. I am skeptical that they would do something that cool though.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome to go down and see that because I went to Obama's first inauguration. They just put giant screens like down the way.
Yeah.
They did it for Trump too, but nobody had to use them. That was really cool.
There's more people in physical attendance to watch the Vikings miss their 8-minute window to make a pick than to watch Donald Trump get inaugurated.
Oh man,
8 minutes by shortening it, you really do put the Vikings on watch because like they're the ones they couldn't even make the 15-minute time work. 8 is like you better know what they're doing. Oh, poor Illinois, just
also
destroyed by Ohio State.
Also, that really sucks for the Vikings because that happened in 2003 and everybody knows about it. Like even
That's
like all the Gen Z people online, they all know about it.
One of the only things I really have remembered about any draft is the fact that they just didn't make multiple picks because they were not ready.
In 2007, it happened again, but they were able to get their pick. Because it was Adrian Peterson.
This area where they have all these stadiums at, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Wait. We have a trade, right? We have a trade.
I see.
The Chiefs are on the clock
with the Browns. They traded.
So the Chiefs and the Browns have traded. So the Browns dropped back to 9.
Okay.
Who
are the Chiefs coming up to get, Dave?
So the Chiefs are coming up to get who shouldn't still be here, or who do they like more than that the Saints or Commanders would want? To me, that's wide receiver. So I think it's Jordan Tyson.
They do need to get him a real receiver. Yes.
Which is a bummer for me because I bet on Tyson to go 9th to the Chiefs. But the only other pick I can see this being would be Sonny Styles because Sonny Styles is just such a unique, useful piece on a defense that a team like the Chiefs could be like, we're just going to take this guy and we'll put him in the right spot. We got the details here. The Browns gave away the Browns get the 9th pick, a 3rd round pick this year, and a 5th round pick this year to drop back 3 spots. Great trade for the Browns.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah,
a really good trade.
Garbage team. They need tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Trade down again. Trade down from 9. Just keep trading down. Don't even make a pick this year. Just trade them all into the next 3 years.
Do you think do you think that the teams that have chosen, who are absolute trash, Jets through Titans, etc., do you think that they were wise to use their picks, or should they have traded back for like 10?
Well, the Jets have a 2nd pick already. So
they already did that. Right. That's true. They already traded away any good players they have.
And the Giants have a 2nd pick as well now. So it really just be Arizona to the Titans. And Arizona was desperate. Mansour Delane. Okay.
Is that guy from LSU?
He is.
Okay.
So
I feels weird, but all right.
It's the same idea as Styles. They obviously had some sort of intel that Washington or New Orleans was going to take Delane, so they wanted to get up ahead of them. So it's the same idea because they just got rid of Trent McDuffie, and I think Delane is a great replacement for that. He's like the same size. He's very versatile, very physical on the outside. I think he's just a good like for like replacement.
I know he was
with
very
McDuffie.
Good. It's almost the same logic of like when in doubt, LSU corner. It's a good choice.
Yeah, it can only be but so wrong.
Right. I assumed though they were going to be. It was going to be a Mahomes driven decision of like, get me somebody to throw to, please, for the love of God.
Paul in the college football chat saying that the Giants are not shopping Kayvon Thibodeau as of right now, which I thought they might be doing when they took Arvell Reese, but and apparently the Commanders pick is already in.
That is what it says. They know what they're doing.
Now, there was some rumors earlier today that the Lions were looking to trade up with the Commanders for Ruben Bain, and that unless Love was still on the board, the Commanders were ready to make this move to fall back to 17th.
Oh, man. The Commanders getting Love and Daniels in the same backfield would be pretty sick.
But they obviously are not doing that. So my guess is that there's a couple other things. One, maybe they didn't expect Styles to still be here. And so they're just going to stay put and take Styles instead. Because they do need linebacker help. Or it was a Love or Tyson situation. And Tyson is still there. And so they didn't make this move. But the stuff I was hearing was that like there was a deal in place where if the Commanders guy was gone, this deal was happening. So this makes me think that one of the Commanders guys is still there, and the pick came in so fast.
Yeah, they clearly already there was no deliberation.
Yeah. And I was kind of bummed. I mean, I didn't really want the Lions to trade up necessarily, but I think Ruben Bain is going to be the most undervalued player in this draft. Maybe Downs, but by positional value, it'll be Bain.
Because of the news of his whole off the field stuff, or
no, if he was built like Jadeveon Clowney, he'd be the second overall pick, even with that.
So you think he's just like looks small?
It's the short arms, and then you add the off the field stuff on top of it. The short arms,
yeah.
So the arm length stuff does matter to a certain point, but also when you're that productive at a high level school, clearly you can make it work.
He dominated everybody. He's clearly awesome.
But it is a thing that because the longer, like the NFL tackles, they will get their hands into your chest first. It is a real thing. It's a real concern. But he also did it.
He also did that against guys who are going to be in the league. Yeah. What do you think the value of this still best available tackle from Miami is? Is that just like, is it insane that he's rated above Caleb Downs, or
no? Because of positional value, offensive tackles are worth more than safeties. Again, if this draft was, if they were ranking players not based on positional value, the Mendoza would be like 14th, Downs or Love would be first, the other would be second.
Yeah.
Right. The guard from Penn State would be like 6th.
I think Kenyon Sadiq is one of the most physically impressive people I've seen in a while. I think he's going to be a very good tight end.
I am afraid that he is going to not do much, but he is definitely physically impressive.
He has Kyle Pitts potential.
Yes, but he does not have Kyle Pitts production.
But he's got big muscles.
I always worry about players who test well as athletes but don't produce in college, because I'm like, well, why didn't you do stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? Like you're such a freak of nature, and like that kid's like 19. Like, why didn't you do the thing?
Mm.
And there has to be a good reason for that. And Sadiq doesn't really have one. He did not. He got outperformed by Terrence Ferguson when they were on the same team,
right?
And they did not match what Ferguson did once Ferguson was gone. It's just like it is Styles.
Yep.
Great pick for the Commanders. I actually had them taking a linebacker at 17, Jacob Rodriguez. So,
you think he's going to go that high?
I think that the Commanders specifically were really into him because he fits like all of their off the field. So Jacob Rodriguez and Mike Sam were still very similar vibes.
I really like Rodriguez. He's the other Texas Tech guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's really good, and I saw PFF had him like pretty far down, but I definitely remember everything I read throughout last year was like, no, this Texas Tech defense is real, and this guy is like the fulcrum of the whole thing. So I was impressed by that. Maybe he's like undersized or something, but yeah, I think he's going to be good. Probably won't be drafted high enough though, because it's just, he's not.
Well, I think he's going to get in the first round. I bet him to go in the first round at a 1.95 to 1, so basically 2 to 1. And then today, after I got my information about the potential trade with the Lions, I got him at 17 to 1 I got him to go 17th exactly at 35 to 1 on DraftKings and 65 to 1 on FanDuel.
Nice.
Now, with the Lions aren't taking him. So if the Lions are at 17 still, if they don't move off of that bet is dead. But if he does go in the first round, that'll effectively pay for all the Jacob Rodriguez bets. And I think Houston is a strong landing spot for him. They really need a linebacker. They pick late in the first round, so the positional volatility is not as bad. He's from Texas Tech. I think that the Texans are a real strong possibility for him.
And
fact,
the Giants picking again at 10 is bonkers. Having the 5 and the 10 in the same draft.
Yeah, especially because it's going to be downs.
Yeah. The Yankees won. The Knicks are doing their best to lose. Just so you have that update of everything that's on my screen, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. The pick is in for the Saints here. Now, I had Mekhi Lemon going here because in my mock, Tate and Tyson were already gone. I would expect Tyson to go ahead of Mekhi Lemon. So if it's a wide receiver, I think it's going to be Tyson.
I wonder if they really wanted Delane just to like pick the really good LSU guy.
A lot of mocks did have Delane going here because the Saints could kind of use anything, and it's LSU. And
yeah, right, they're a team where when you do the PFF mock draft and it tells you the positions they need, it's just every position on the possible field. You're like, oh, okay. So just pretty much close your eyes and pick anything.
Yeah. So I do think this is going to be a wide receiver, though, because right now their number one wide receiver is Chris Olave. Ben, I will give you $1 American if you can tell me without Googling who the wide receiver 2 on the Saints is right this second.
Is it
Chat, play along.
Is it a trick question that it is also Chris Olave?
No, but kind of. He's probably their number 1, number 2, and number 3, if we're being honest. And it's not like the tight end. I mean, who's like their number 2 wide receiver on their depth chart right now. Chat, feel free. Again, don't Google it, though.
Now, do you mean number 2 wide receiver on the depth chart or in catches?
On the depth chart. Like, who's like the right... Because they traded Shaheed to the Seahawks, right? So, like, who's like their number 2 dude, right?
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Very underrated president. It is Devon Vele.
That's not a real person. So are you telling me that we're gonna have to watch Jeremiah Love ruin his life for a team that just has absolutely no fan base or potential? When, like, do you think if he hadn't gotten picked when he did, how much longer would he have lasted? Would he have ended up somewhere fun?
So this is hard because he went 3rd. I have to update my priors, and like I should be careful with this because I'm not really good at math, but
I find it best to do it into a microphone that's recording.
Yes. But yeah, so let me be loud and wrong right here.
Yes.
But since he did go 3rd, I think he goes 4th. Does that make sense? Like, since we got the evidence that he did go 3rd, like, then and the Titans could use him, he's going 4th. And if
he
go
clearly
4th,
was scoring that well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about this? Just absolutely, Fernando Mendoza in a LinkedIn commercial. See, man, I'm telling you, this guy knows.
Good for him.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to do commercials that resonate with you. Will Levis was in the Mayo commercial. Michael Vick in the ASPCA.
Gift that keeps on giving. Is Vic coaching somewhere? Is that real?
Yeah, he was coaching. He was coaching somebody.
Okay, great. That's all his Wikipedia says. Just that was somewhere.
Yeah, he's coaching somewhere. Yeah, I actually think that a Michael Vick like ASPCA commercial could be a really big hit. Because he would be like, I know all too well what these animals can be going through, and as a reformed person who no longer wants to see this happen, I have personally made a $500,000 donation to the ASPCA, and I really hope that you could also be moved through the same thing. Like, you could do and it would get so much coverage everywhere.
I'm sure he did have to do a lot of like charitable giving coming out of the whole.
Yeah, but like going to the local high school and being like, "Don't torture dogs" is like nice, but it's not as good as like.
You roll your eyes at calling it nice, Dave. I bet the dogs appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean, all good works are good. I'm not saying he should not do them, but I think it could work. I think it could, and I think it could do a lot of good. I think, and it would certainly bring a lot of attention to the ASPCA.
I'm sure they'd be happy to have the money.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really good. I know. I assume they're a good charity. I actually don't know much about them. Like, is their overhead 92% or something? Like, I have no idea.
There was an ASPCA around the corner from our apartment in New York City. That's all I can tell you. They at least had a nice building.
The only charities that I know for a fact I don't like are United Way and Salvation Army. Salvation Army, because of some of their like weird beliefs. I don't think there's anything wrong with like giving to the Salvation Army. I just don't, because of their weird beliefs. Give somebody else. And the United Way definitely had some like now this was like 20 years ago. For all I know, they reformed or whatever, but they had some things.
It was Vikings missing their pick territory. It was like 2003, but still just sticks in your memory.
Yeah, it came out. It was their overhead was like 43% or something, like just absurd. I mean, again, I'm making that number up. Like, don't sue me, United Way, but like it was nuts. It was a problem,
Gotta research where your dollars are going.
Like all the Republicans at my job at the time were like, "This is why I don't give to charity," and I'm like,
"Yeah, that's why." Yeah,
I'm like bad logic, but man, like,
yeah, that's definitely why.
Oh man, George Bush Republicans, those are the days. It is Tyson, son of a gun. Okay. So I wonder when this pops. If I know I get a point because when Lemon goes in the first round, but do I get a point here because it's a wide receiver going to the Saints? Some score like that. I don't know if this one does.
I think that's wishful thinking.
Dave with the Skolansky Bucks. Rest in piss, David Skolansky. Great books, though. David Skolansky was a poker player who wrote a lot of like instrumental poker books for people learning how to play. Awful human being.
Well,
he's like the Thomas Jefferson of poker.
Wow.
Yeah. Like wow, really instrumental, great accomplishments. Please don't let anybody I know ever grow up to be like this man.
Okay. Who does that make you of poker, Dave?
Let me see. Does it have to be a founding father?
You know what? Yes, actually it does.
Okay. I am like the Jay Jones of poker because I did so much and tried so hard to leave a mark and nobody's ever going to remember me.
Do you mean John Jay?
Yes.
Which is even better that you said the wrong name.
That is
I think
exactly
Jay Jones is the current Attorney General of Virginia, not a founding father. Awesome. I can't tell if Tyson just like sneezed or something else nasty just happened, but
I'm not gonna lie. I think you could pull off his look better than he is.
Well, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that.
Which is to say, I think he got styled poorly.
Yeah, I don't know if this is really working for me, but we just tighten the tie up, maybe work on the jacket. It's okay. He's about to be a millionaire, so he doesn't have to listen to me. This is our first really genuine, like, human reaction to getting drafted, which is always cool to see.
Yes, it is. And I think he is going to be like a baller for real. I think the injury stuff is overblown. His breakout age was so young. Like I think this dude is very legitimate and will probably be the best wide receiver out of this class. And I still may have taken Tate first if I was running an NFL franchise, but I think if Tate and Tyson were on Ohio State, Tyson would be the reason we're like, well, Tate had to play with Tyson, right? So
I think he's just singing to himself instead of getting interviewed, which is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's very endearing. That's like the Gen Z stare, but slightly different.
And this division is so bad that like one more playmaker on any of these NFC South teams might just be like enough to flip everything.
Yeah, because the Falcons, Tua could easily be fine in the dome on the fast track with Bijan and London and Pitts. That could work out just fine.
They would be so good in the video game. That's such an amazing video game team.
Yeah. And then the Saints, like Tyler Shuck is probably not great, but do you have to be great in that division? The Bucks are kind of just always hanging around, and the Panthers, like they came on strong towards the end of the year.
They're all very similarly situated.
Yeah. So the Browns are up here. I have Ruben Bain going to the Chiefs in this position, but now of course it's the Browns making this pick. And this is very interesting because I have Downs going 10th to the Giants. Did the Browns trade back, though, knowing they could get Downs a little bit later? And do they just take the Ohio State guy and just throw him on their shitty team?
But the thing is, like, the Browns actually have a better plan than they've had in recent years, I would say.
Yes.
They at least have something. So you're not adding a safety if you do to, like, an absolute dumpster fire. He's insanely good. And if they were to add him, I feel like that's not the worst choice because they're not so far away. That's another division where there's really not an elite team anymore. No, O-line.
Yep. So Spencer Fano, the offensive tackle from Utah, I think this is a great pick here. He's a really good player.
He's very good.
I learned way more about him once the Wolverines hired Kyle Whittingham. So, I got to watch a lot of him watching Utah to see how we're going to use Bryce Underwood going forward. And just really good player. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time. I don't know enough about offensive line play. We need Scott here to be like, oh no, this guy, like I hate and do like things with Tyson and Tate with offensive linemen, but I can look at him and know I don't think he's going to be bad. Like, I don't think we have a bust on our hands here.
He's got short arms, but really long pinky fingers, and it makes up for it. He's just extendo fingers.
The Giants are on the clock here. I think I have another really fun bet I have to find here, actually. Did you log me out? Location couldn't be very. I work in Maryland. I live in Virginia. I cross the bridge, and FanDuel and DraftKings act like I've just like teleported with Nightcrawler to some alternate dimension.
So on ESPN, it already shows the Giants pick, and it's the Miami tackle. On the web, excuse me.
Okay, because it's just coming up here for me on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Well, great. I haven't had a chance to look at my fun bet yet.
Guy who went to the University of Miami, moving to New York. There's a tried and true pathway there. I think he'll find a lot of alumni.
I had Giants to draft 2 players from Ohio State in the first round at 3.9 to 1. So if that was Downs there,
it's pretty sweet to be a Hawaiian guy with the word Maui in your last name. That's pretty badass. His jacket's awesome.
His whole getup is great. Definitely cultural though. Like I love the look, but not for me and you. Like it wouldn't work if we tried to.
It's not so much that it wouldn't work as that it wouldn't even occur to me, Dave. I wouldn't. This isn't really in my. This isn't really in my closet anywhere.
Sorry. I forgot. You are confirmed one of the good whites.
When we go over to
and you wouldn't just steal ideas because you thought it looked cool. Dallas is on the clock. They have traded up to secure Caleb Downs. I'm calling it right now. They traded up one spot to get Caleb Downs, which is a great pick for them.
Man, he's by far the top remaining on the board. So.
The Miami tackle, he's really good. He's Asia Pacific Islander. He plays tackle. Great pick.
Honestly, it's probably exactly what Kuiper just said. That's all his. That's all his expertise is.
Right.
Is
I'm not saying that every Asian Pacific Islander is a good offensive lineman. I'm saying that all the ones that the NFL thinks should go in the first round, I'm just going to agree are good because we have no evidence otherwise, do we? Is there one?
Can't really think of a bust. 6'5", 330. Oh my God. Yeah, this guy's a house. And they were this was one of the biggest reasons why Miami got as much better as they did last year. Was as much as I don't really think Carson Beck is good at all, he was untouched all season because of this line.
Yeah.
So
yes,
that was a big strength of theirs. Their practices between their O-line and the Ruben Bain led D-line probably were the stuff of legend.
Yes, they were probably really, really good. So the Cowboys trade up one spot, which means Miami was just threatening to take their guy. Which these are my favorite trades, by the way, when you have to pay to move up one spot to get your guy. But to me, it has to be Downs. It's in the range. He's a player that both these teams would really covet. He's perfect for Dallas.
When they're trying to make determinations on who ahead of them is going to pick who, what kinds of intel are they looking at day of? I think I can understand it throughout the course of the entire combine and everything process. Like they could be looking over many months to know that like, oh, well, this team had 3 meetings with this guy and only had 1 with this guy. But like in these moments, are they just calling each other to say like, hey, who are you going to take? Or like what new intel is available in these like 8-minute windows that they're actually basing these decisions on?
So this trade would have been instigated by Miami. And so what you do is that you have to build out multiple versions of the first round and how you think it's going to go. And then as it's going along, the one that's closer to reality, you then have what you think is going to keep happening as it keeps going, right? So like I had Mauiaga here going a couple picks later to somebody. I Obviously, that can't happen now. But I only had one mock draft. I would have so many based on different things, right? And then from there, you could look to see based on this is what we think. And then as you get picks in, that impacts how you do the second, third, fourth, and whatever. Because like now the Browns probably aren't going to take a tackle in round 2 because they took one at 9. So if that was boom, you move that off and whatever. And this is why an NFL team should hire me.
I end up saying that every time I'm here. I just feel like it's a waste of resources to have you explaining this stuff to me, Dave. I have no power. I can't actually help any team get marginally better. I could be as good of a GM as the worst GM. I'm certain I could do that. But
I think that if you gave me a year as an understudy to a not great, but just kind of decent GM, give me Nick Caserio from the Texans, right? Somebody like that. You gave me a year to be an understudy. Within 2 years after that, I would be the 7th best GM in the NFL.
I love that it's such specific numbers. That's the best.
There's 6 that I like. So I put it's those 6 and then me. is
6 and then Dave.
Like Eminem's list, right? It's just the ones I like, and then it's me. When I'm not put on that list, that shit does not offend me. If the Cowboys don't take downs here, I think it's just a horrible mistake, process-wise. Now, positionally, maybe not. If they take an offensive lineman, if they take Ruben Bain, right? If they take Mekhi Lemon, then I can see, okay, they took a stronger position, something like that. But their secondary is flaming garbage. And Caleb Downs is the best nickel safety I've seen in college football. That includes Mike Sainristil.
He's extremely good. Yeah.
And he could play both safety positions, boundary corner and nickel corner. And your secondary right now is literally like the next 4 people in this Burger King commercial. I don't see how it's down, especially with the lane off the board.
The one cut in the burger looked like they could D up.
Also, the pick being in, but the Dolphins clock not running means that even though it's 8 minutes, it's not going to matter. It's all like we're still on pace for a midnight finish.
Yeah, the whole timing kind of gets thrown off when you actually see the lingering of commercials.
Yeah, 2 5th-round picks to trade back 1 spot for the Dolphins is really good, given how decimated the roster is. Because the 5th round, you could get 2 starting offensive linemen in the 5th round. You could get a good center and a good guard there if you know what you're doing. So I think that's a really good pick. And they lose this one player, but they get whoever they want anyways at the next pick. It's Downs.
Yeah, he's going to be quite good.
He is absolutely fantastic. Great pick. Perfect fit. He's a culture fit for there. Goes to Alabama, does great. Nick Saban retires. He goes to Ohio State, does great. He plays for Matt Patricia and does great. This is a great pick for the Cowboys. Give them what's their D-back numbers at 31? Is that what Roy Williams had? And a couple other 24 was the Larry Brown guy. Give them whatever their 88 on defense is. Just give it to them.
Is Deion's number retired? I would assume.
Yeah, probably. But if he wants the number 2, whoever has it has to give it up.
Yeah, I feel like the single-digit number is the coolest thing now.
Yeah. Now, if it's because Dak is 4, so Dak has to give his up. Pickens is 1. CD is 88. So who's going to tell him no? Exactly. Give him his number. And the Cowboys might not be done. Pickens is on the trading block now. He signed his extension, but that doesn't mean they won't trade him. So we could see the Cowboys just pop back up randomly here when they trade Pickens for another 1st-round pick. But yeah, nice suit too. I love the deep purple. Yeah.
It really just is like the ultimate testament that they had probably 10 first-round wide receivers come through, and he was the one who was their punt returner.
Yeah.
Like that's actually insane to think about.
Yeah, because they could like afford to get a receiver hurt.
Way more than it's not like they had 12 great safeties. They had receivers who, I mean,
yeah,
you could lose 3 of them and not even notice. Now we're getting into the stretch of teams where maybe not the Dolphins, but like Rams, Ravens, Bucks, and certainly not the Jets, but a couple of these coming up where they actually are like they are real. They should actually be trying to win. So, do you think
starting after this pick? Yeah.
Do you think that now we're going to start to see teams starting to add guys who are like more of like the cherry on top type of draft pick, or more still stay like foundational build for the future type of deal?
Depends on their quarterback situation. If they think they've got their quarterback, you can start adding cherry on top. If you don't have your quarterback yet, keep building through the trenches. So when you do get your quarterback, they're ready to go.
I believe Matt Stafford is a year older than he was just a year ago. So that's an unfortunate component for him. I don't know who the Dolphins quarterback is.
It is Jacoby Brissett. Is that racist? It's Malik Willis.
It's not Quinn Ewers?
No, it is Malik Willis. He gave him a 3-year contract he can get out of after 1 year. So he's just there to go 4-13 so they can take Arch Manning or Julian Sand next year. Paul with a good point here. We're getting to the point where I'd be a lot more comfortable with the Lions coming up for Bain. I didn't like the idea of going up to 7. Agreed. I that's a great point, Paul. I agree. At any point now, the Lions can move from 17 up to take Ruben Bain. However, we all know how the draft goes. The Baltimore Ravens are going to have Bain drop right in their laps at 14. They're going to get another all-pro defensive end without doing a thing. That's where Kyle Hamilton was at 14. It's just every time.
Man, the didn't that happen with what's that guy's name? Starks?
Yeah.
The Georgia guy.
Yeah, Starks, yeah.
Fell to them too, and everybody was like, "Well, I can't believe it." And we're like,
yeah,
I mean, it's literally every Ravens defensive pick ever.
Yep. And Lamar Jackson.
Bain and Aiden Hutchinson would be really fun.
It would be fantastic. Now, I have the Lions, I think, just staying there and taking Mesidor, the other DE from Miami. Dolphins pick is in. Goodell's up. He's delivering it here.
Caden Proctor, Dave.
Oh, I'm so mad. I am tilting. Whoops. Producing the show during the show. Pause. Okay. Look at who had going 11 to the Dolphins before the trade. Look at that.
Caden Proctor, guy who I never heard anybody actually say played well, but is just such a physical freak. You can't not give him a chance.
I am not tilting because this is free to enter, but I am so competitive that I'm unhappy. Yeah, so Caden Proctor, 5-star tackle, goes to Iowa. No, he's from Iowa.
From Iowa.
Yeah, from Iowa, goes to Alabama, transfers to Iowa for a spring, goes back to Alabama. The entire time, Michigan's trying to shove millions of dollars at him.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's a player in this draft who got tampered with more than Caden Proctor.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Sharon Moore had called me and been like, "Hey, will you tamper with Caden Proctor?" I would have been like, "Leave the snow buddies alone." But after that, I would have been like, "Yes, I will do whatever you need to get Caden Proctor." Incredible athlete. He was scoring touchdowns on screen passes. And you're right. He never played super well, but he played well enough really early.
All there ever was national voices and like Bama podcasters being like, "Man, this guy really just like didn't look great tonight, or like he really didn't, like he's just, God, how's he getting blown away on the edge? And like, yeah, I get it. He's gigantic, but to your point about production, I see Mekhi Becton vibes here, where it's like you just look at the guy and you're like, I mean, how do we not draft this dude? But I mean, you also have to be good on the field at some point too.
Becton did get a lot better in the NFL and then suffered a bunch of injuries, which really hampered him, unfortunately. And I think that Caden Proctor, Mekhi Becton was not as good at such a young age as Proctor. Proctor stepped in and started at Alabama as a true freshman, and he played fine. Like,
that could have been why he might not have been that great, was because he was 18 years old at that point. So, yeah.
Right. And so, offensive line is just, it takes a long time to learn, transition level to level, takes a long time to do. And if you look at the three teams who are trying to give him millions of dollars to play there, you have Alabama, Iowa, and Michigan, three great offensive line schools. Good at identifying talent, producing talent, putting talent in the league, right? I think Caden Proctor is going to be a name who disappears on the hapless Dolphins until 2028. And then they go like 10-7 out of nowhere, and Caden Proctor makes a Pro Bowl.
Okay. It's a decent pick. It's a decent projection. Dave, if you're 6'6", 350, and you're a lineman, and you are getting to pick what city you're going to go not just play in, but live in for the majority of the year, with that frame, where are you trying to be a 6'6", 350 guy? I don't know that I would pick Miami.
I would not pick Miami either. I would definitely pick somewhere in the north and somewhere with some space. But also it can't be the middle of nowhere. So this is pretty easy for me. I would pick the Detroit Lions.
Oh well,
and then I would build like a giant house on some cheap land downriver.
All right, so then if I had to say you can't pick your favorite team, then
or the area I know the best, I would probably take, honestly, oh my goodness, I was going to say Buffalo, but no, I don't want to play for their idiot owner.
Come on. I mean, yeah, that's a...
I got it. I'd go to Cincinnati. I'd go to the Bengals.
Interesting.
Not blazing hot, not super cold, cool city, dedicated fan base. I could still troll Buckeye fans a lot because they're there.
Haven't spent much time in Cincinnati. That's interesting. I would probably go...
It's a cool spot. It's a cool
spot. If I was a big behemoth of a guy like that, I think it would be really fun to be in the Pacific Northwest. Like be a Sasquatch of sorts.
Yeah.
So like a big, ginormous dude on the Seahawks, you'd be a fan favorite like immediately.
Also, if I were an NFL player, the Seahawks would be back in play for me. See, I don't want to live in Washington or Oregon because they don't allow betting. No online betting at all.
You'd be gambling on yourself.
Nothing. Right. And so I wouldn't be able to gamble anyways. Therefore, the Seahawks could be back in play. But as it is, I would rather live. I'd rather be homeless in Alexandria than live in Seattle right now because of that. So.
Oh, well, let's clip that one too, just in case. Who knows?
Yeah.
All your other predictions.
That's a joke, of course, but I would rather be homeless in Alexandria than live in Florida.
Well, yeah. That's not there's a lot of reasons why I don't think you'd really thrive there.
Yeah, I've been to Florida a number of times. Not for me. I know Florida's a big state with a bunch of different cultures. I don't fit with any of them. Now, if the Cuban community in Miami were a little less right-leaning, I could see that being an okay fit. Not that I am Cuban at all, but I
none
could
of this
see
stuff
myself
is
enjoying that.
None of this stuff is permanent, man. I mean, the number of times Trump has threatened to just go in and completely knock out Cuba too. Is Florida ready for 5 million people from Cuba to show up once they're actually allowed to leave. I don't know that they would be. And once they are all of them gonna react the way that DeSantis and Trump would want them to? I think they're gonna actually all of a sudden they're gonna become pretty pro-immigration if that happens.
But I also think it's temporary because so you are half Italian.
On my better days.
Yes.
In my Jets jersey, it's more than a half now.
Would you describe yourself as half Italian and half white?
No.
Right, because Italian people are now white people here. That wasn't always the case.
It's correct.
I think that Cubans want to be the next group to pull off the Jewish, Irish, Italian, we're white now thing. I think that's the goal.
I think I've heard this. I've heard this assessment.
And that, yeah, this is not my own original thought. Although it's one I've had, obviously.
You can claim it. For all we know, you had it first.
Well, there are no more laws now, so yeah, sure. But I just think that that will always mean appealing to the right, whatever the right is. So maybe in 2028 it flutters a bit, but if that's the case, it.
Yeah, I think you've seen a lot of interesting regression back to what I think is a much more logical position for some communities that broke for Trump in 2024 and then actually already by 25 were like, oh, I can't wait for what it is. Oh no. Yeah, okay. He's not good.
For just exempting any thoughts on Ty Simpson. This is the Jordan Love when you solve Aaron Rodgers problem. The Rams are in a win now situation, and you're not helping Matt Stafford win right now. Aside from what you think of Ty Simpson, aside from all that, for this team with this capital to make this decision when they could easily be in the Super Bowl next year, and they could get somebody to help them here. Unless they already know that Stafford's going to retire.
Yeah, I mean, he is almost 40. It's not like they actually have that many more years of Stafford left. He's incredible.
All the more reason to push the chips in this year.
Which they have done in the past and won a Super Bowl because of by saying, let's forego a couple seasons from now to try to go all in. And it did work for them.
Jordan Love is a decent quarterback who worked out for the Packers. And it was still a horrible pick because when they took him, Aaron Rodgers then won the MVP. What if they taken somebody who actually helped them on the field?
Imagine that.
Right. This is a horrible decision from a franchise that is in a win now window. And then on top of that, Ty Simpson does not need to be the quarterback.
There's a Ty Simpson every year. You can draft this guy whenever you want. I wonder who it's mostly skill players. Ruben Bain is still up there. I mean,
not after the next pick, because here go the Ravens.
And actually, it's literally what you just said. Oh my God, that's actually
look, the Ravens pick is in.
You spoke it. You spoke it into happening, Dave.
I just everything about this pick is horrible. Everything about this.
I'm looking this up. I really need to see how many games did Ty Simpson even start in college.
15.
Oh man. Yeah.
And the thing is, when you watch him play, you can see some tools there. You can see why a team might take him in the first round because they want to get the fifth-year option on him. A team that needs a quarterback trades up into the first round to take him, get that fifth-year option. There is no way a team in a win-now situation should ever draft Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I mean, he only had one season. I mean, the best... I guess you could say the same thing about a guy like Darnold only played like one real year and then went
He was
to the
way
league.
better. He was way better.
He was way better. Yeah, he was way better.
And he is,
and also
way
he
better
was
than the
garbage
NFL.
for the first like 5 years too. So
Yes. Well, the years of the Jets don't count. We know that now. But Ty Simpson will never be as good as Sam Darnold is.
You know, Dave, Darnold played for several teams, and you had to choose the Jets again to say that was why he sucked. He sucked on a few teams. He sucked on the Jets. Everybody sucks on the Jets.
Yeah.
All right, are we going Bane? Is this just obvious?
I think 14's got to be Bane.
I remember how they lost to Florida State last year to start the year, and then Florida State didn't beat a single team the rest of the year.
I cannot wrap my head around this decision. This isn't
as bad as signing Cousins and drafting Penix.
No, but it's
not that far away.
It's potentially worse in its impact because the Falcons weren't going to win a Super Bowl whether they had Penix or Cousins.
Whereas the Rams have the MVP of the league.
Like,
actually, a lot.
What if the Rams win the division again and they're the 2 seed? And it's like we could have had Mekhi Lemon or another offensive lineman or Ruben Bain or a defensive back.
It's bad. It's worse given that Bain is still there. If the next pick that you could make was like a tight end who's unproven or a really good receiver from USC who's just very undersized, it's one thing. But also
bad.
like
it's bad given that Kenyon Sadiq is still there.
Yeah.
Right. Like get Stafford another person to throw the ball to. But Mekhi Lemon from USC, Devontae Adams.
Lemon is very solid. Lemon and Puka would be a really
Yeah. Pick is in for the Ravens.
Oh, it was not. Dave.
Do the Lions stand pat at 17 and get Ruben Bain? No, because the Jets don't let them get by. There's no way do the Jets take Bain and Bailey?
But do you think this is because of the off the field stuff? Like Ruben Bain is a stud. So what's going on?
I think it's a combination of the two. Like I thought he could drop in the draft because when this process started, to me, he was the clear-cut number 2 pick. When the process started. Then he was like number 5. Then the off the field stuff happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really rate anybody from Penn State, but that is somewhat unfair because there have been a couple players recently. Parker Washington has gotten really good in the NFL, like way better than his draft position, just got a contract. Your boy on the Jets, the offensive lineman.
Fashanu, yeah.
Fashanu is fine. So, you know what? He's the best interior lineman in the draft. They need an interior lineman. You know, I'm not going to hate on it. I would have hated if the Lions had traded up for it or something like that. But to just sit at 14, take a position of need, an immediate starter, your team's already good. You got Lamar Jackson, you got Jesse Minter at coach. Like, okay, you know, I really want to talk trash about it because it's Penn State, but it's like if you went to Miami, I would have nothing to say about this kid, you know. So I'm not really, you know. Man, Penn State does something up.
I'm really surprised so many teams have passed on Bain. I think it is a news driven phenomenon. Perhaps not without merit, but just like I think that's what's going on. For the Ravens specifically to have passed up on
they
such a potentially amazing defensive player.
They took Mike Green last year, who had some outstanding, like not good, but like still to develop off-field issues, and he fell to the second round because of those. And he ended up being a pretty good player, but I'm not sure they're out of the woods yet with him.
Yeah.
So they might just not want to be like collecting these guys.
All right, Dave. The most important opinion I need from you tonight is, how do you feel about this Michael Jackson movie?
I'm super excited for it. I am a huge fan of Michael Jackson, and I also think he's guilty of a lot of things he was accused of. And I'm still excited for the movie. And I think that Michael Jackson was a very damaged individual due to his upbringing and some mental health issues he had going and the pressure he was under. And I think that he is both a very flawed individual who probably did some really bad things. He's also a very sympathetic character at the same time. And um, I'm excited for the movie because his music is incredible. So, like, yes, I think Michael Jackson is guilty of a lot of these accusations, but also Michael Jackson is never going to Epstein Island. Does that make sense?
I think all of that makes sense. I really wonder what the reaction is going to be to a movie that seems, based on the casting and the commercials, is clearly based on like a very specific time in Michael Jackson's career, and
Yes,
obviously
it
is
goes
not
from
going. It's not
yes,
going
it
to
goes
address
no,
anything
no,
of
it doesn't.
substance.
It doesn't. It goes from childhood through the bad era. So it does not get into any of that
Great
at all.
place to stop. Yeah, it's like, oh, we made a movie about Huey Long. It's like up until he's 20. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Nothing fucked up happened yet. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but the part worth maybe exploring in cinema is
Well, I
uh,
guess I guess the question is, and I've not seen the movie yet, but the question is the movie about him as a person or is about his music and the impact that his music made? Because if it's about the latter,
I mean, it's a
then
biopic, so I don't know. But
yeah. Um
so what it sounds like, Dave, is in like 10 years, you're going to be in the front row at the Kanye movie. You're just going to be like ready to go.
I think that Kanye and Michael Jackson are actually very similar case studies. I'm not a
That's why
psychologist, but I would a Kanye West movie would be phenomenal. But part of what would make it phenomenal is the downfall. Like if Kanye West had died in a car wreck in 2012, he would be the greatest MC to ever live. Like if he had died at the height, he would be the most revered rap artist of all time.
or maybe a less morbid example would have been he just retired or something. But yes,
No,
sure.
no, no, no. You got to go. You can't just retire. I mean,
Okay.
like for all we know, Tupac could have gone on to vote for Donald Trump. We have no idea
That
because he
actually
died at
doesn't
26.
yeah.
And so it's just like you only
Maybe
get him in his prime and he's gone. And it's like this Jimi Hendrix,
Jimi
Jim
Hendrix
Morrison,
style. Yeah, right.
right? Like,
That's
right. We have no idea what horrors Janis Joplin might have dropped, had she kept going. Maybe not. Like maybe it would have been fine, but you have no idea, right? Like they never had a chance to have their downfall. Um, the Bucks pick is in, by the way.
it is Bane. Does he try to do any sort of like Bane sort of like nickname thing with like Bane from Batman, or is he too young to even know who Bane is?
So he is 21. The Bane movie came out in 2012, which is 14 years ago. So he was 7. So I would say he knows exactly who that is because what a great age to be for those movies.
That's true. He looks sad. I think he thought he was going way earlier. Like
Yeah.
none of his family is happy.
Yeah. I think they think that the drop is unfair
Yes.
based on the details of the story. They're like,
And based on the facial expression of every single person in his family who's like
yeah,
not a single one of them was happy.
yeah. But the Bucks also very famously took Warren Sapp, who fell for smoking weed, but for off the field issues, and then ended up being Warren Sapp, right? Um,
Oh
that was the
yeah,
year
he
the Jets
looks
took Kyle Brady.
Ruben Bain looks enraged. He does
Yeah.
not look happy at all. He's whoever the Bucks are playing in their first preseason game is gonna die.
What is Bane driving to the game?
Oh man, that's
Oh, was it too soon?
not for me. He didn't even stop at the camera thing. He just took the hat. Oh my god.
Yeah,
he is pissed off.
Yeah.
Roger Goodell's back just exploded at that. Oh man, yeah. He did not want to go to Tampa.
Or he didn't want to go at number 15.
Well, yeah, right. I think it's more the spot.
Yeah, he might be happy to be staying in Florida, to be honest.
Is that where he's from?
No idea, but probably just because Florida's got a lot of high school talent and he went to Miami.
Yeah.
So I just sort of assume all the Florida kids are from Florida. But he could be from like Alabama or Georgia or whatever.
He was born in Miami.
Yeah. He has a bit of a Miami scowl.
He went to Miami Central, which I'm going to quickly look up and see.
That is not the Teddy Bridgewater one. That's Miami Northwestern.
Miami Central, famous alumni, Antonio Brown, Willis McGahee, Devontae Freeman, Dalvin Cook, James Cook. Oh my God. These high schools are bonkers.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was where Vilma went. I think John Vilma went to like the high school right around the corner from Miami or something, but they're probably
yeah, I know Northwestern because that's where Teddy Bridgewater was the coach, and I think it's where Lamar went, although I don't remember. The Jets pick is in now. I had this being Omar Cooper Jr., but Mekhi Lemon is still on the board. So congratulations. You're going to get Burley Zay Flowers to go with Garrett Wilson, which is nice. It's a good combo.
Mekhi Lemon's Matt Miller pro comp is Amon-Ra St. Brown. So
absurd.
Mekhi Lemon is good, man.
Yes, but he's not Amon-Ra. He doesn't play the same way. He's literally Zay Flowers with some size to him, which is nice. That's good. If Zay Flowers was 3 inches taller, 20 pounds heavier, and moved the exact same way, the Ravens would have won a Super Bowl.
Kai Lemon made some incredible catches last year.
Yes.
One of them was against Michigan in that terrible game I stayed up so late to watch. We got our asses whooped.
Yes. Mekhi Lemon is either Burley Zay Flowers or like Jukey Garrett Wilson. Either way, you'll take them.
Who cares? Whoever the Jets are picking, I just, I'm just already projecting what team they're going to be on next.
That's so funny.
What do you want me to do, Dave? Oh no, we got a tight end. Whatever. That's not that weird. It's not nearly.
You took Mason Taylor in the second round last year.
It's not nearly as bad as your laughter is making it seem, because none of them were going to be successful anyway.
This is horrific. So
you think they wanted Ty Simpson and then he got taken and now they're just like, well, shit, we got to just, now we're scrambling.
Lions pick is in. So in 2010, the Detroit Lions took Eric Ebron, 10th overall.
I remember the dire straits of the Lions around that time.
And they said, I'm sorry, not 2010, in 2014. In 2014, they took
didn't they have Hawkinson?
Hawkinson came later after Ebron flamed out. They took Ebron 10th overall, and they said they wanted a downfield threat to take some of the pressure off of Calvin Johnson. Odell Beckham was on the board.
Yeah.
I don't care what the reason it is for taking Sadiq here, because they are a team that needs a wide receiver and Lemon is still on the board. This is a mistake of a pick.
Yeah. I do not disagree with you. Because I think the fact that It's like a really good indicator of how bad your pick was when the next pick is in immediately because they're
Yeah.
watching and just going like, it's like in fantasy when somebody picks in 1 second, you're like, well, clearly they knew who they wanted. And like, I would be amazed if the Lions don't just take
Yeah.
Mekhi Lemon now, because that's probably who the Jets should have taken. But I think I will choose to believe that the Jets wanted to make a terrible choice and take Ty Simpson to be our next garbage quarterback for 3 years. They were thwarted in their plan. So now we end up in a situation where we used our 2 first-round picks on a D end. Okay, fine. But then a tight end when we have no one to throw to that person. And last year, the Jets did not get an interception the entire season. So clearly the secondary was the bigger part of the problem. But again, whatever, it doesn't matter. The Jets are garbage. Like we're going to be doing this next year, watching them pick in the top 5 anyway.
But that's part of their plan. Their plan is to pick in the top 5 next year to get the quarterback. So that's okay.
The Knicks lost by a point, by the way. So the Knicks are in fact going to blow this first round series to the Hawks.
And they don't have Trae Young.
They don't.
The only other thing I can think here for the Jets, even though I think this is a horrible way to do this, is that the wide receiver class is so good next year. Like the top 4 guys next year would all be wide receiver 1 in this class pretty easily. And they have 2 first-round picks next year. They're like, okay, we're going to get the quarterback with one and one of those wide receivers with the other one. But that receiver was Sadiq and Garrett Wilson. And
who's it after Jeremiah Smith?
Ryan Williams, TJ Moore, and
man, the Bama podcaster universe, they do not like Ryan Williams anymore.
Well, that's fine. Did they take a look at his shitty quarterback?
Well, there's only so much you can do with a guy who's like that small. I don't know. I'm not really totally sold on Ryan Williams, but
Ryan Wingo is another one that will be up there out of Texas.
Yeah.
And hang on. I'll find it here. We're looking. Oh, Cam Coleman, who's now from Texas, from Auburn. So Jeremiah Smith, Cam Coleman, Ryan Williams, TJ Moore, Ryan Wingo might have all been wide receiver 1 in this class. And so they might be thinking next year we're going to get our quarterback, another wide receiver. We'll already have Sadiq. It takes a while to learn tight end. We'll give him this year where we're going to suck anyways to get his feet wet, get his sea legs, all their sailing metaphors. And then
get his feet wet.
Yeah. He's a loose cannon.
Flip his flippers, breathe, have his dorsal fin. Yeah, no, what I think they wanted to do was take Ty Simpson, and then they got thwarted in that and just absolutely panicked and got Sadiq. What I think they did was actually the draft version of what we used to call back with my buddies in college, getting the fajitas. Because when we would go out to dinner and somebody wouldn't know what to order, and it would finally come to them and they're like, oh my God, I make a choice. We'd be at like Chili's or somewhere cheap that like college kids eat. And it would just be like, oh, fajitas. Like you could just say that, but that was your panic answer. So we would say, if you ever made a panic decision in any part of your life, that you got the fajitas. I think the Jets just got the fajitas with Kenyon Sadiq. They just looked down at their board and were like, oh my God, we had one plan and now it's gone. It really sucks that would have been Ty Simpson. But again, like in that sense, I honestly think it might be better because the alternative was saving them from themselves, which now I don't have to pretend to like Ty Simpson for the next 2.5 years. But yeah, I mean, they're going to walk out of the first round with 2 top 16 picks, and it's a defensive end and a tight end, and that's what it is. Who's this Lions guy?
It's a Make-A-Wish kid, so
right on.
Yeah, good for him. If the Lions do take Jacob Rodriguez here, I will make real quick math. 180 plus 600 and some. I'll make almost $1,000. Lions take Jacob Rodriguez here.
Well, the website has already updated who it is.
Oh, well, you didn't seem really excited for me, so.
No, I would have been far more excited for you. I'm rooting for you to make money.
I'm not assuming it's going to be Jacob Rodriguez here, though. Blake Miller.
It's almost the exact opposite person.
Okay, I don't know much about this guy. Besides the fact he's at Clemson. He's an offensive tackle. We need a tackle. Give me Blake Miller.
He is humongous.
Great. Yes. Yeah.
His
so that
pre-draft analysis write-up says Miller doesn't have great foot quickness to redirect, and sometimes his lack of flexibility can lead to average run blocking. So that's what you want to. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, well, he's going to learn today because you don't come play for the Lions not learn how to run block. I guarantee you, his conversation with Dan Campbell was half about run blocking.
How long until Dan Campbell is like just a manosphere podcaster and is out of football?
I don't know that he's a manosphere podcaster. I think he might surprise us and be more like the Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's like actually like doesn't like any of that stuff. Even though it's like you were born to do this, and he's like, nah, man, it's a for me. I care about people. I care about young men, and I want them to have a good life. Like, I could see him being somebody like that. But Dan Campbell has 2 more years to be the Lions coach, and if he doesn't do something,
yeah,
he'll be coaching the Jets. The Vikings pick is in.
Somebody has to coach the Jets, unfortunately.
That's very true. The Vikings are probably going to take an edge, but if they took Mekhi Lemon here and let Jordan Addison walk, I could see that.
You were close.
Or they reach for a 3rd round value at defensive tackle. Yeah, Paul says Dan Campbell's too woke for the manosphere. That's exactly right. Like he's like in touch with his feelings and shit. Like it's not gonna work. Like
he led
the Lions to watch that shitty backup quarterback's wife in the Olympics. The manosphere is not watch some other dude's wife in the Olympics.
So do you think he then projects as like let's fast forward 2 years. Do you think he's a Fox NFL desk guy? Like, is he?
Yeah, he immediately replaces Bill Cowher.
There we go. Yeah.
So that is a big reach there by the Vikings, and it's so good they fired their young black GM to hire whatever loser made this pick.
Wait, they fired that guy?
Yeah.
Oh man,
because he was the one insisting that they go with JJ and not bring in some. And they had Daniel Jones already there, and he put it behind it, and yeah, that's that.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to have on the resume. Yeah. But I don't. The fact that I had not heard of this person until he was just drafted by the Vikings is not the best sign.
Yeah. Maybe he's good, but again, he's like a late 2nd round, early 3rd round value. Like it'd be like if someone drafted Derek Moore right there. Like, all right, Derek Moore's probably good, but
are the Eagles going to end up with Mekhi Lemon?
Oh, that would be insane.
There's one more pick away from that happening.
Well, I have like 3 more picks before that.
Well, I just mean the Eagles are picking at 20, and we're at 19.
No, the Cowboys pick at 20.
I'm looking at. You should check again.
I'm literally looking at the TV, and it says 20 period DAL.
I'm looking at the internet.
Would the Eagles and Cowboys ever actually trade with each other?
I don't know. We will see. Either way, Mekhi Lemon on the Cowboys is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it also means that George Pickens is gone. No, the Cowboys are going to take some defensive lineman guy, Malachi Lawrence, somebody in that vein.
I believe the website is far ahead enough that it is way ahead of the broadcast, because I believe the Eagles and Cowboys have traded 20 and 23.
Well, if that's the case, the Eagles probably have done that to come up for they probably have done that to come up for Mekhi Lemon. Although if I'm the Panthers, I'm looking long and hard at Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah, why wouldn't they just take him? I feel like he's just awesome. So
yeah. And I mean, I had them taking Sadiq, so I had them taking a pass catcher here. But they also just took Ted McMillan Ted Aroa. He's like they call Ted. They also took Ted Aroa McMillan last year. So also, did you hear that Travis Etienne, the right way to pronounce his name is Achan?
No way.
He's Cajun. He just came out and said this when he went back to New Orleans. Like, bro, you have been Travis Etienne for 9 years.
Like 10 years. Yeah. For your 10 years of college.
Like, I'm sorry. God. I'm not updating that one. Like you won a national championship as a freshman. You had all the time in the world to let people know I'm Cajun. It's actually Achan. But it's like the same as the running back for the Dolphins.
It's the exact same. Yeah, that's wild.
Because like with the Cajun accent all runs together, right? But it's like, bro, at any point you could have said something. You wait until you're 39 years old.
I'm just going to guarantee you that I forget that information as soon as we stop talking about it. I wish I could remember anything about the Panthers other than Bryce.
They just had who's coming up to pick on the Chiron on here, and it was still 20 Dallas.
Yeah, it does say it on TV, so I don't know what's going on.
Monroe Freeling, good 3-year starter at Georgia. Probably who I would have taken if I were the Lions, but I am not in the trenches enough, pun intended, to like split hairs like that for offensive linemen. But they're both like good starters at big schools, I guess. But Monroe Freeling was good. 6'7", 6'8", 315.
Absolute animal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what ESPN.com is doing, because it says
the Eagles are on the clock. The Eagles are on the clock. They did trade.
So the browser had it like 5 minutes before, just so you know.
Wow. So this is probably for Mekhi Lemon. AJ Brown is on his way to New England.
Yeah, it has to be for Lemon. There's no.
Yeah, Philly receives number 20. Dallas gets 23, 114, and 137. It's a good trade for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, they moved down 3. It's okay, especially if they didn't really have somebody they wanted.
When Mekhi Lemon lights them up for the next 7 years, that's the hard thing about trading the division.
Well, that was the first thing you said, was you were like, are they really going to trade with each other? And it appears so. So,
I mean, the only teams that trade in the division routinely are the Lions and Vikings, and it's only with each other.
Mm.
You almost never see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
But they both must have thought this was a strong win-win.
I would have traded up for Mekhi Lemon at this point. I think there's still a lot of value, but in terms of this particular round, he's looking at the rest of the guys on this top remaining. And like he's far and away better than I think now that he is gone, everybody else is now a tier below.
Yes, especially due to positional value. I still think Dylan Tiedemann from Oregon via Purdue is
safety,
like a really good pick. But yes, he's also a safety. So
yeah.
Oh,
not as many Clemsons in the first round as I thought.
Well,
again,
yeah, but
another instance of me betting on Clemson this year and just having it completely blow up.
Well, Pierre Woods and TJ Parker could still be on their way. Oh, look at this. The Notre Dame fan is lower on the USC wide receiver, the most touts. Yeah, Mekhi Lemon is a fantastic player, and this is a great pick for the Eagles, and it's hilarious because he is going to just crush the Cowboys for years to come, and I love it.
That is going to happen.
Okay, well, now we can see where I had Ty Simpson going to the hometown Steelers here, making a big splash in front of the big crowd.
Do they trade up or not trade up, but do they reach for another quarterback who is just god awful?
Garrett Nussmeier?
Beck? I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't have drafted Ty Simpson either.
Yeah.
Did you say Wilton Spade?
I did. Well, Leonard Moore is the CB1 next year, so that can happen. Oh, they can't trade AJ Brown to after June 1st. That's right. So, but this all but guarantees that's going to happen. And the trade is probably already agreed to.
Is that because of some cap thing? Or?
Yes. Yeah, okay. It's cap stuff. So my guess is that they're going to flip him to New England for New England's first round pick in 2027.
Oh, please don't show Mekhi Lemon versus Michigan highlights. Oh,
nope.
Man.
Here it is. Look at the, oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It's an amazing catch.
Yeah. This is, see ya. Burley Zay Flowers. Get off me. Juke. Speed. I'm telling you, Burley Zay Flowers is the right comp. That is not Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith. Decent wide receiver pairing.
I would say so. They have some other pretty good playmakers on that team.
Yeah. Always doing the Stevie Wonder thing. You're sure you're esteemed, the prestigious organization doesn't want to give me a job?
would love to have it.
Could you imagine? I just go out to like host some panel. I just calls and says we're gonna do the Stevie Wonder thing.
Dave Rolls, everybody.
On loan from the Heritage Foundation.
That's okay. Yeah, we can just say that. That doesn't have to be true.
All right, Liam.
This is like home meat.
Liam, are you there? Liam making his annual appearance for the Chargers pick, so he get his Chargers pick reaction. They're on the clock after the Steelers.
We got to watch all this Pittsburgh propaganda first.
Yes. I muted you guys because of the background noise. I will unmute you when we get the Chargers coming up. Because Jake always has to be watching in public because he's Mr. Popular.
Nothing wrong with that. Adds to the pressure.
Yeah.
I would never do that, but that's because I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah, that's an important question. Are you going to raise the kid to be a Jets fan?
Oh, what? Why?
I don't know. My dad raised me to be a Lions fan.
Yeah, but no. For so many reasons, no.
Jake is raising Liam to be a Chargers fan.
We don't even live there. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It would just be like, hey, you want to just like be in this terrible miasma of shit? Like, no, I want her to have a happy life.
Yeah,
that's really not a hard question, at least for me. I don't know. I don't feel any obligation. I at least feel enough obligation to wear this stupid jersey, but the Jets are a team that I actively think it's funny when they're so bad, which to me is like people then try to like razz me for being a Jets fan, and I'm like, dude, I'm
you're
like,
in on the joke.
I'm making fun of myself more than anything else. Like I really,
Right.
It's fine.
And you got really lucky because you went with the Jets-Yankees combo and not the Jets-Mets combo.
Jets-Mets is rough. Jets-Mets is a tough life.
It isn't Jets-Mets the more common Italian pairing?
It's just the more common overall. They used to play in the same stadium. Like they were just sort of, they were the teams that got like made so New York could have another one.
Okay.
Both good around the same time in the 60s. Oh boy, what do we got? Jerome Bettis for a 5th time.
Hey, did you know that Jerome Bettis was born in Detroit?
No, I never knew that, Dave.
Look at some high school players, some flag football players, and Jerome Bettis.
He's just
all to announce, what failure of a pick.
He's just so wide. He's like 2 big guys. How was he a running back?
And he was so nimble. Like, that's the thing. He was like fleet of foot.
The Steelers pick somebody whose name I cannot pronounce.
Not sure.
I'll go with that.
Look, I'm going 23rd in my mock.
How'da, babe.
Well, this is a good pick here for the Chargers because the Chargers are not going to take a tackle because they have 2 great tackles. Now, the tackles are never healthy, but they do have them.
They do have them.
So,
keeping with really good players who might not play, Jermod McCoy is the next guy up on the most talented remaining. So
yeah, but apparently he only has like 1/2 of one knee. So
yeah, all of his CLs are gone.
Yeah. Okay. Charters are up. We're unmuting the bets. Jake, are you listening to me on speaker? Liam, is your dad a boomer?
Yeah. I mean, wait.
All right, Ben, what are the Chargers going to do here? They got 2 minutes left.
I like that Washington receiver.
Tell him I can't hear him.
Boston.
What does he want?
Confirmed. Jake is a boomer. So you like Denzel Boston here over Casey Concepcion if they were to go wide receiver?
Yeah, he looks like he's rated significantly higher. Concepcion is good, but Denzel Boston's like 6'4" and awesome. Yeah, I would go him.
But here's the thing: Denzel Boston sucks.
No, he had good numbers, man.
He's not good.
Okay,
well, his production was not there.
Listen, he had a couple big catches.
He did.
Just saying, he's a big dude.
He is. Denzel Boston is Keon Coleman, which is why he's going to Buffalo for the maximum lulls. Now, to be fair, a few years ago, you told me Devontae Smith was going to be good, and I said he's too small to be good in the NFL. So you do have a good track record of being on the right side of wide receiver arguments with me.
I made the hot take of saying the guy who won the Heisman was going to be pretty good.
It was drafted 6th. Yeah, that or somewhere around there.
It's more impressive. It's more impressive that Devontae's stayed as healthy as he has, given that he's not the biggest guy. But
Jake in the chat says Dean Spanos is wearing white pants. That's confidence. Please do not raise your daughter to be a Chargers fan. In fact, Jake, we're calling CPS. This is not okay. Okay, pick is in. It's coming up here. I'm going to unmute them so we get the reaction. So we can see in here who the Chargers take here. I'm just going to stick with my pick. I got Malachi Lawrence. Let's go Malachi Lawrence. Let me get a pick straight on.
Why does this Chargers guy have a gas mask on? Am I missing something?
You're ahead of me. I'm still looking at the crowd. Now pick is in.
Nice. I like this pick.
Okay, I'm way behind. Did I pause this at some point? No, it says live. I don't have the pick yet. I don't think Liam has it yet either. Or it's so bad. Okay, Jake just shouted Mesidor.
It's a solid choice.
Okay, that is a good pick right there.
Say bye, Dave.
So I really like this pick. For our on-site Charger fans here. For one, I think I had Mesidor going to the Lions. I did. So
stayed in the family.
So I like that, and it's the same position as Malachi Lawrence. So it's the same sort of like idea right there. And they really need some pass rush for the Chargers, especially given the quarterbacks that they play with in their division: Mahomes, Bo Nix, and theoretically Mendoza. You have to be able to get after the quarterback some, and that's an area they really needed help. Now, the question for Mesidor is Mesidor this good, or did he play with Ruben Bain? Right.
I think that's a fine question, but I think it always gets asked in a one-directional way where the opposite could also very much be the case. And
true.
They're not always. This isn't obviously like an indicative thing, but I think the example that always comes to mind for me is like Freeney and Mathis with the Colts, where it was like, is Mathis really that good? He's got Freeney over there. It's like, Mathis is like also a Hall of Famer. So at the end of the day, numbers are numbers, and this guy has measurables, and he's just good. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I certainly think it's the correct position. I mean, obviously I had that position in the mock. So I think it's the right position, and it's a position of value. Like if he ends up being a really good pass rusher and you got him at 22nd,
that's super valuable.
Saying here that Liam wanted an offensive line. I think that's fair, but I think there's been a run on offensive linemen already. That do you want your 9th favorite offensive lineman or your 3rd favorite edge rusher? Right. If the Chargers were picking maybe 5 spots sooner, maybe they do take a offensive lineman, but they're also probably not worth trading up for in Jim Harbaugh's eyes. So they stay pat. They take Mesidor instead. I think that's the way to do that, because who's the next available lineman? Because Ian Nachor was gone. It would be Ione was gone. Caleb Lomu is like the 10th offensive lineman off the board. No, I think going edge, a position you really needed, was the way to go. I think that's a good pick for the Chargers. And Paul with a good point. You can get good interior linemen later in the draft. Also true, because you don't need a tackle, right?
No, getting O-line is great, but like the Chargers literally have that's all they've been drafting the last
with Slater and
years.
Don't need a tackle, and so then are they going to spend this capital on an edge rusher or a guard? And at that point, edge rusher, even if you slightly prefer the guard, edge rusher becomes the correct answer. So I just think it's a really good pick here for the Chargers. Sound makes a lot of sense. Good structurally, good for the team. it's almost like Jim Harbaugh knows what he's doing when it comes to football.
Especially on the lines of scrimmage and like just generally the
and quarterback.
The positions you always had to give Harbaugh the benefit of the doubt for was O-line, but really more defensive line. Like, if he said a guy was going to be a good D lineman, it was like, hey, this guy's never played football before. But Harbaugh's like, nope, trust me, I'm going to figure it out. And he would. And then that guy was, a Jabo or Quiddy Pay or whatever. So, yeah, he knows what he's doing in that position, particularly more than anybody.
Completely agree. So, Bex, be happy. I think that's a very good pick there for you guys. My last bet that I have for the first round probably is Jacob Rodriguez to be taken in the first round. That is
It's funny because he's so far down all the ratings, but I really felt like he was he could be undersized. I think he's a little undersized, but like I really thought Jacob Rodriguez was like a Kuechly type guy.
Actually, yeah, and you know where he might go? He might be going right here to Dallas.
Keep it in the fam.
They could use him. Like, they get him in Downs. A couple really good young players there. They already have what's his face they traded for? The defensive lineman for the Packers. Yeah, in the Micah Parsons trade. You all know who I mean. The defensive tackle. Y'all know who I mean. And did they trade did they get Quentin Williams from the Jets? Was that them?
Believe so.
Yeah.
If not,
Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark.
There we go.
The Cowboys pick is in. And I might have the slowest broadcast in America, but it's coming up here. Whenever you're ready. Malachi Lawrence. Look at it going number 22.
Dave, it's like you're right. We can just count it that you're right.
Trying to win money here, not Skalansky bucks. Okay. Well, so close yet so far.
I would say you were close.
Now, the next pick I can't get right because the guy I have going to the Browns went to the Ravens 10 picks before this. But 25, 26, and 27 are all still in play, as is 28. So maybe we can start racking up some points here towards the end and make a push for a top 100 spot and some monies.
Okay.
I could not believe the Rams took Ty Simpson at 13.
Yeah, that's really that's the bummer one.
Yeah, that's the turd in the ice cream bowl.
Does that happen to you a lot?
No, but apparently happens to John Calipari a lot because it's his example.
Oh.
He was talking about how you have to have a good cohesive team. If you have just one player in your team who isn't bought in, it'll ruin it. Because if you have a bowl of ice cream with a fleck of poop on it, it doesn't matter how small the fleck of poop is. You're not eating the ice cream.
I'll never forget that phrase as much as I try for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so that's a John Calipariism.
Great.
And he's won one national championship, so he must know what he's doing.
He's the kind of guy who seems like he's probably won way more. And then you read read his career, and you're like, oh, okay.
Tom Izzo says what?
Tom Izzo's the same exact thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Izzo is the Atlanta Braves of people.
Dusty May is a better basketball coach than Tom Izzo.
Clip it.
And he will obviously have more national championships because Izzo will be stuck on one forever.
How old is Izzo? Is he like 70?
72.
How much longer is that going to go?
I would say another 6-7 years. He strikes me as the type that as soon as he retires, he will just like melt away. Like Obi-Wan getting cut down by Darth Vader. He'll just like.
But he'll return as a force imagination to sit on Michigan State coach Draymond Green's shoulder and help him.
Michigan State coach Draymond Green would be fantastic.
Come on, why not?
It would be great.
I mean, we had Juwan Howard literally punching guys in the layup line or in the the good game line after.
How many technical fouls would Draymond Green get as a coach per season?
I mean, that's what he's there for. It's not so much a matter of how many would he get. It's what's the league record and double it.
The answer here is Mean Girls. The limit does not exist.
Yeah, it's whatever you need it to be.
What in the world?
This is some terrifying looking movie that I do not want to see.
Is it a Joker movie?
Yeah,
Clayface.
maybe.
No, Clayface. Yeah, I should have put that together. Yeah, that was horrifying.
Yep. See, but okay, right there. That movie's coming out in October. That makes me think, for what it is, it actually is going to be pretty good. Scary movies should come out near Halloween.
Yeah.
I think a red flag for me around the Michael Jackson movie, in addition to the other ones, is that it's coming out in like April. So they clearly don't think it's going to win any awards, but they also don't think it's going to be like a dominant summer blockbuster. So like, is it just obviously they're admitting it's garbage and they're like, we're going to put it out in April when there's literally no other movies out? That's my, not that I have a fear about this movie. I don't actually care, but that's my initial thought.
I think that it would be better to think of the Michael Jackson movie similar to the way we think about like a Tyler Perry movie or Soul Plane. I think this is a black movie for black people and a black audience that some other people will go to see. But I think that this is a black cultural event. And then, so like, of course it's not going to win any awards. I mean, Sinners didn't win, even though I think One Battle After Another was the best movie I've seen in like 10 years. But, you know, I just think that I think it's a movie you put out about Michael Jackson because people like Michael Jackson, and you just put it out and people are going to go see it. It doesn't really matter when people are going to go see it because it's a very specific cultural thing. It'd be like if there was like a Beyonce movie. Sure, lots of people are going to go see a Beyonce movie, but we know who the Beyonce movie is for. The Tina Turner movie, right? Like, I think this is a black culture movie that a lot of folks will go see because everybody likes Michael Jackson. As an artist,
I just so deeply need there to be a Tyler Perry made sequel to the Michael Jackson movie that is somehow works Medea into Michael Jackson's like rest of his life timeline. That needs to exist. Also, the fact that you went from Soul Plane to Sinners, those might be the movies that are at the actual ends of the spectrum in terms of what I would be expecting you to say is like, you know, like a movie like Soul Plane or Sinners. Like, those are not even.
Okay, fine. Juice, New Jack City, Bad Boys. Bad Boys is a good example because like everybody likes the Bad Boys movies, but like they are definitely extremely black. But like everybody sort of enjoys them. Also, Casey Concepcion to the Browns. This is a good pick. I mean, he was good as a freshman at NC State, even though they used him more as like a gadget guy. But then when he got to Texas A&M, they used him as like a true wide receiver. The only issue I have with him is that he did get destroyed by his teammate Mario Craver this year. Craver, I don't think is going to be a huge NFL draft pick because of his size, but Craver might be like a dominant college player. We just need to wait another year to see before we can really make a good judgment there.
To go back to something way more important, I think that Soul Plane, a movie like that, would absolutely break Gen Z's brain if it were to come out today.
Yes.
It would just be inconceivable that you could make a movie like that and that you'd be allowed to laugh at that movie.
Yeah, and people like to bring up like Animal House or like these really, really old movies. You don't have to go that far back.
You don't have to go that far back at all. No.
I think Clerks, Jane Silent Bob.
Oh my God. Those movies would, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now Dogma, I think you could do.
Or like Undercover Brother. Like a movie that's just
white chicks. Yeah.
Genuinely so funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Today would just be like,
man, Undercover Brother is so good.
It's such a great movie. And the cast is incredible.
Yes. The Bears are on the clock here. Their pick's already in. I think this is going to be Keldrick Falk, the defensive end from Auburn.
I think he has the exact same height and weight as Aiden Hutchinson.
It's a good start.
That is a good start.
It's
a good person to be the same size of.
Now, I put Caden McDonald here because I was trying to like sneak some points where I don't think a lot of other people will get some.
You had a Buckeyes over.
No, Caden McDonald should have been the pick. What? Oh, the Vikings took Caleb Banks from Florida instead.
Yeah.
To me, Caden McDonald's the only defensive interior player that is worth of a first-round pick this year. And, I think he's a good fit for the Bears. So even though I think Falk is more likely, I took McDonald here as like a gameplay strategy. So
right now, though, now you're into the teams that are firmly in we think we can win the Super Bowl mode.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're the Bears, are you how much of this pick's choice is being like, how much of this is just like a let's round out around Caleb and just like give him one more weapon perhaps versus like maybe the more sane long-term thing?
I don't think they need to do that because they have a Dunze and Luther Burden. And Luther Burden, it's Luther Burden season. Like Luther Burden is, that the train is coming. Luther Burden is going to do some things this year. And they have Colson Loveland, right? So for me, the offensive skill player in this draft that would do that would have been Jeremiah Love.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, obviously.
Right. And there's other running back, like they're not going to take Jadarian Price here, right? So, I don't think so. Then it's like, okay, well, we need help in the trenches, mostly on the defensive side. Pick one.
Sure. And I mean, it looks like of the next 25 of the like top remaining, there's only one O lineman left, and he's a guard, and he's number 25 of the list. So it's not even like you could bolster the O line.
Where's Caleb Lomu?
Oh, my bad. There's two. Yeah, Lomu. But Lomu's not really scored that high. I don't know why.
Yeah. See, I mean, I have Lomu going in this range, but I think he's a pretty solid first round pick.
ESPN has 9 guys higher than him.
Still available?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Last time we let Stephen A. Smith make the rankings.
I think he was distracted by probably giving his probably horrendous take on the Michael Jackson movie.
That's very true. Man, Stephen A. Smith has some bad takes. He's picked the worst possible time to just tack hard to the center.
But I also just really do want to know what he thinks about the Michael Jackson movie. Now I need that take more than any other. So doesn't Michael Jackson have like it's like a very finicky, litigious estate. They must have had like a really strong hand in making the movie,
Well,
which is yet another reason why I think it's probably just propaganda garbage.
Well, I think the estate is litigious because there continues to be accusations and whatnot. There's going to be
there continues to be litigation. Yes,
right. I don't know. They're like litigious necessarily like about the movie, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right. That may not be the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems to be a movie that celebrates Michael Jackson in his music. That does seem to be the point of this movie. Fuck, that's a good pick. Oh, I am so mad Ben Johnson went to that team. Oh, that is a good pick.
Did he have the incredible back-breaking interception against Drew Aller in overtime?
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. That was an awesome way to lose.
You want to know how good this dude is? This dude was good at Purdue.
I can tell by the shades that this dude knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Just the sunglasses alone.
Yeah. When he was in the portal after leaving Purdue, I would have emptied the savings account to get him to Michigan. Like he was great at Purdue. Like if he had stayed at Purdue for his last season, he still would have been a first round pick. Like that's how good this dude was.
It's also an interesting Dylan spelling.
It's like the last name, like Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Or Corey Dillon.
Hey, he's from Westfield, Indiana. How'd a babe?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Like a nothing recruit kind of pops up immediately. Probably grew 3 inches before his freshman year in college or something. Because he was good immediately at Purdue. And there are players like Charlie Jones who are good for Purdue. And there are players like Dylan Tieneman who are just really good having to be at Purdue.
Dylan Tieneman's Wikipedia page has a profile picture of him in a Purdue jersey, not an Oregon jersey. And it's him in the big house. And it's a game in 2023, which I believe Michigan won 45-10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He could be doing way better on his Wikipedia picture. First could have his better team, but also maybe not a game they got blown out in.
Yeah, but also he might have had trade alert. We have a trade alert.
Ooh.
The Buffalo Bills have traded their pick to Houston. Houston jumps up 2 spots. Who does Houston want to steal from San Francisco? This is it. This is my boy. This is Rodriguez. This is where I make $29.50.
Okay.
But again, combined with the 40 I got from Mendoza with 100 in for 100, you know, got to get there. But I think this is Jacob Rodriguez. I think this is where, because he'd be a great fit for the 49ers too.
Oh, there's the Thieneman Drew Aller pick. God, that game was so fun to watch Penn State blow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sick of the Bears being a good franchise. This shit can end immediately.
Yeah, they're not stupid anymore. They're actually trying to win, and they know what to do.
Well, you know what? It'd be okay if the Packers had taken their place. But that the Packers continue to be a good franchise is also really annoying.
Well, the NFC North is just like the most fun division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this dude being from Indy and then going to the Bears, that's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, just great pick. Fuck the Bears.
Jacob Rodriguez is not rated very high. I really liked him, but I keep having to scroll to find him again and again.
So Jacob Rodriguez is not rated as highly because of his age and some athleticism things. But he is, again, he and Mike Sanders were still same thing. One of these, like the Texans, they're coached by D'Amico Ryans, who's the same way to Alabama. They just need they need a linebacker. They need a captain, right? Because they got Will Anderson, who's really good, Right, but they just like captain on defense, like get everybody in the right position and just know what they're doing and never make a mistake. And Jacob Rodriguez is that player, and the 49ers could use the exact same thing because all their dudes are aging out. So that's why I think that's the pick here.
See the logic.
Now I can't get the pick right because I had Casey Concepcion, who obviously can't go here because he's gone.
Well, I don't know that the Texans got the pick right either.
Oh boy. Okay, let's see here. What did the Texans do? I don't hate it.
I don't get it.
So
couldn't you have gotten this guy like two days
later
from now?
So the only thing is, no, he would have been a pretty early second day pick, round 2 pick. He is we have another trade. Before we get back to Rutledge. The 49ers now, because Rutledge is gone, that's interesting. Trade their pick to the Dolphins. The Dolphins have come back up into the first round. Or did the Dolphins have another pick in the first round?
They were at 30. Yeah.
They were at 30, yeah. So they jump a little bit. So Caleb Rutledge is just going to come in and start at guard, and the Texans have a god-awful offensive line.
They do.
And the fact that the 49ers just traded as well tells me the 49ers were going to take Rutledge at 27. The Texans were right, which means that the rest of us who did not have Rutledge in this range, we were wrong because the NFL certainly did. So, and that's why Nick Caserio needs to hire me to be his understudy. I said I wanted the Texans guys.
So does this mean the Dolphins have 27 and 30 now?
Did they not trade 30 to come up to 27?
I still see them having 30.
Interesting. Well, they're about to do the scroll here on ESPN, the show who has the picks. They got 27 Dolphins.
It's almost a snake pick situation for the Dolphins. Also, you're going to have to explain to me what Clayface is. Clayface
is a Batman villain.
Okay, but like, how is that a superpower? Why is he? What is?
It's. Do you know Sandman from
Yes,
Spider-Man? Same sort of idea, but you're made out of clay instead of sand.
Okay.
Right. Same sort of like merge with the running and I think he can like impersonate other people pretty well and some other stuff. Like there's some
like a shapeshifter.
Yeah, he like not like Mystique. Like I don't think he's like perfect with it, but there's some stuff there. Now I never knew it was like a primary bad guy. Like it's weird to me he's getting his own movie, but
yeah,
you know.
Okay.
Is it still showing the Dolphins at 30?
No. Okay, now I see Niners. So
okay.
That's probably what it had to be.
Yeah. So now the Dolphins move up because they thought that the Bills or the Chiefs were going to take somebody they want. And what's really hilarious about this is if they do trade up for Denzel Boston, who I think is not very good, because Buffalo was going to take Keon Coleman again. But I do think it's a wide receiver because the Bills and Chiefs can each use one, and the Dolphins both of them.
So would you take Cooper?
I would not take either of them at this point, especially if I'm the Dolphins. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm just like, give me another big fat guy in the trenches.
Sign me up.
Yep. But yeah, but it'd be very funny if the Dolphins trade up to take Denzel Boston, who again I don't rate at all. And then the Bills like force to take Omar Cooper, who ends up being okay. And they were going to take Boston, but they get saved by their division counterparts. It's also very possible that the Bills or that the Dolphins are trying to take specifically from Kansas City, and the Bills would not trade it within the division. So it's only Kansas City we're actually looking at here. In the Bills, they called the Bills, and Bills were like, fuck off. You're in the AFC East. Like, oh, okay. So they called San Francisco. Like,
I'm bummed the Bills are going to be indoors. That feels like a loss of.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the
touchstone.
Bills and their like goals to win football games, but it's bad for the rest of us in watching awesome environments for football.
Right. It was a uniquely cool place. Now it's just like another Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay. The Dolphin selection is in. Who do they jump up to take? Chris Johnson, cornerback, San Diego State. The Chiefs had already traded up for Delane, so I don't see the Chiefs also taking Chris Johnson here. So that probably was actually to get in front of Buffalo. This guy was a late riser in the process here, really good athlete. But again, small school. Why are you still at San Diego State?
San Diego State is not as nothing of a program.
You're a first round corner in the NFL draft. Why are you at San Diego State for your last year? What, UCLA wouldn't have given him some money?
I mean, if it was Deshaun Foster recruiting, he was maybe the worst coach.
That's true.
In recent memory.
And who knows? Maybe he had. Oh, the Bills have traded their pick because they wanted this guy. Oh, they traded to New England. So there goes my theory. I'm not trading in the division.
Yeah, that's happened like multiple times now.
Yeah, maybe the teams are realizing that they should do that if the trade works. And
you keep saying trade alert, but it's technically the IHOP trade alert, Dave. You're robbing IHOP of their brand that they've paid quite a bit for here on these trade alerts.
Denny's today, Denny's tomorrow, Denny's forever.
Denny's trade alert. No. The Ty Simpson trade was a Denny's trade alert.
Man, what a horrible pick that was.
That was a rough one. That's going to be bad for years.
So the Patriots come up from 31 to 28 to get in front of Kansas City or San Francisco, which is amazing. San Francisco agrees to trade back to get their guy. The Patriots want the same guy, so they jump San Francisco. So San Francisco's traded back, and they don't get their guy.
All with Mike Vrabel dealing with how many different kinds of phone calls coming in while he's still trying to negotiate this.
Right, exactly.
I love that his suspension was to miss a day of the draft.
Day 3.
Like, oh, okay.
Caleb Lomu goes here to the Patriots. See, I told you ESPN was off in the rankings.
Just because a guy gets drafted doesn't mean he's necessarily deserving of his space, as we just said with Ty Simpson. But this guy, Utah lineman who's this gigantic, yes, I totally agree. I get it.
And also, I had him going 27th in my mock, and he goes 28th. I am very much tilting now. I'm straight up not having a good time. Especially because I have the Chiefs taking a corner now at 29 because of the trade. But they won't because they traded up for Delane. So 29 is done here. But maybe it'll be Rodriguez. At least get the first rounder Rodriguez correct.
Well, it looks like on this highlight that Caleb Lomu was about as fast from a foot speed perspective as Utah's running back as he was getting into the second level. So that's pretty amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe he can teach Will Campbell how to actually block someone.
I don't know. Can you teach Will Campbell to have long arms? That's the problem.
Maybe
Short
he can.
arms.
Maybe the problem is he just doesn't reach them all out there.
This is one of the benefits to being married to a part Japanese person. You just constantly have the fans around, so when you're hot, there's always one within reach.
It's nice.
Yeah. And for her, there's always Lowry seasoning salt available.
Match made in heaven.
Yep. What more
fusion,
do you need?
A cultural fusion.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what the Chiefs are going to do here. Obviously, I hope it's Rodriguez. It'd be a good fit for them, and it will be a little bit of money. But could it be a wide receiver? Although I don't think Cooper or Boston really fit them very well.
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
All the Indiana guys were pretty good. I thought they all were.
Yeah, but Cooper's got a really dodgy profile. Like, I mean, he was okay at James Madison, but his profile is not the greatest. And honestly, the best wide receiver in the NFL on Indiana is Charlie Becker.
And do you think that a lot of them were just like they were just good at being in the system run by a supercomputer quarterback?
Yeah, I think that they're perfectly fine. I think they're perfectly adequate. I just don't know that their first round profiles. Like Surratt clearly isn't. I don't think Cooper is either. But if Charlie Becker comes out next year,
yeah,
then yes, probably. And again, you could make an argument. I don't think Becker goes ahead and Tater Tyson, but Becker had a lemon when next year's draft comes around. Probably won't be that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just don't really rate the Indiana guys as first round.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they were. I think the thing Indiana did is that they just never made mistakes, and they had guys with enough talent. So
yeah,
there weren't skill position players, obviously, like not counting Mendoza. There weren't skill position players who really like blew you away. It was just like, wow, these guys are extremely well coached and prepared and smart.
The defensive side had some ballers for real.
Yeah, sure. I'm just talking about the Mendoza and the offense.
Oh, okay. Because like D'Angelo Pons isn't a first round pick for some reason. Like,
because he's 5'8".
Okay, that's fair.
That's the only reason, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He is awesome. He's really, to me, more of like a Sam Ristillish comp, where you're like, man, if you were 2 inches taller, you would be. Everybody would be rating you.
Yeah. So second round then for him.
The fact that he had a pick 6 on the first play of the game in the playoff was just so awesome. We were talking about this in one chat or another. What to you is the most aesthetically pleasing sports thing to witness? Like a thing that happens in any game. To me, what I threw in there was the perfectly clean pick 6, the perfectly timed, get it right in stride, run into the, like the Will Johnson pick 6s that he had where he just and was gone. What's your most aesthetically pleasing thing from a sports perspective?
It's funny because this is not a sport I like very much, but I was at opening day for the Nationals and I saw Ohtani hit a 3-run home run, and the sound the bat made, I couldn't stand up for a little bit. I mean, it was something. Like It was Peter Woods to the Chiefs. There goes your Clemson guy.
Hey.
Yeah, it was just, and like the swing was so perfect.
Yeah.
But like a home run is not the answer. It's literally like Ohtani, Judge, and Ken Griffey Jr. home runs.
Right.
So I don't know that because like so it. I don't know if that counts if it's just those specific.
No, that's cool.
Players.
That counts. Yeah. I'm surprised you went with a baseball thing. That's actually very it's very open-minded of you.
Yeah, it's just it's not my favorite sport, but that's obviously very cool. I love 49ers have traded their pick.
Looks like it's
to the Jets.
It's
the
a team.
Jets.
It's a team we know well, Dave.
The Jets are going to have a third first-round pick here. They've traded up
another tight end.
It's Omar Cooper.
How many tight ends are available?
What if they took Stowers?
Is there a kicker?
No, because if you see here, I have the Jets taking Cooper at 16. So they have now come up to 30 to grab him, or Denzel Boston, and I get this pick right.
You know what? I wouldn't hate it. Give me something fun. Give me 6'4" to complement Garrett Wilson and his jersey that's the wrong shape.
I love a free kick goal in soccer.
Good one. Yeah. Like a bender.
Yeah, like not a penalty shot, but like from distance.
Yeah,
they set up the wall. The goalie's all sure, especially when the goalie doesn't move. He's just like
fooled by it completely.
That's sexy. Football pick sixes are good. I'm a kick return guy. I love when somebody breaks in the open field on a kick return.
Yeah,
and it's just nice. Gone, like Devin Hester. Right.
Because and the best part of that is that moment before they cross the 50 where you're like, oh my God, this is going to happen. Not like the moment they score. It's like, ooh, this one's different. That part is cool.
Yeah, I really like that. It doesn't happen that often, but an actual ankle breaking crossover and then the 3-pointer is made. Like the guy falls down, then you hit the three anyways.
You got to make the shot.
Is nice. But honestly, Steph Curry just pulling it from the logo at any time, or Caitlin Clark now, and just lacing it from wherever is nice. But like 3-point shot isn't the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that'd be a very specific thing. Okay, the Jets pick is in. Is Omar Cooper Jr. Give me my 3 points. Give me my 3 points.
Well, the Jets fans who are there, or at least the people they paid to go in the front row and wear Jets stuff, are they're excited. So, is this Omar Cooper Jr.'s house? This is incredible.
Maybe. It says it's in Atlanta. Maybe.
Nice house. That Indiana NIL came through.
So I would have no problem with Omar Cooper as a second-round pick.
It's almost the second round.
Right. And then so the Jets jump up from 33 to 30 because they think Buffalo's going to take him at 31. Again, I don't rate him super highly. He's going to go down as a first-round pick, but where it's at and all that, I don't hate it. Now, trading up for him, I don't know about. Like, whatever they gave up to make that move up.
Right.
I
actually don't see that.
But had they just stood at 33 and drafted Omar Cooper with the first pick of the second round, it wouldn't have been horrible. So now if they taken him at 16, like I had the mock to do, I would have laughed at them incessantly.
What's so funny is if you look at the history of this pick, this 30th pick in this draft, it started with Denver, then went to Miami, then went to San Francisco, then went to the Jets. Like absolutely nobody wanted to pick 30th in this draft for some reason.
But then the Jets did.
Listen, We've taken kickers in the first round, Dave. This is not even close to the worst draft I've seen the Jets subject me to. So,
David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq, and Omar Cooper Jr.
Could be worse.
Could be better.
Mm.
Sadiq as another more useful player would have been really good.
Yeah.
Why does it say the Titans? It says the Titans are on the clock, but
God,
the Bills pick is in.
Wait, what?
Did they just mess up their graphic? One of the graphics is wrong.
They might have. Yeah, it's definitely says Titans in the stadium.
Yes, it does.
There must have been a trade.
Trade alert.
There we go.
So the Bills trade back again.
I guess the Bills really did want Omar Cooper and didn't get him. So,
and the Bills, they can't be going that far because Tennessee's got to be picking what, like 36th, somewhere in there.
Probably not losing.
So who does Tennessee want to get their 5th-year option on here? Right? Who are they coming up for? They want to make sure they have the 5th-year option on. To me, that means
Jermod McCoy, who's been there forever and nobody's taken because he's hurt.
Maybe. Yeah, that's not. Of course, you could just see Seattle just sitting there and just scooping them up. It's Jadarian Price. They're coming up for the running back because you want to get the 5th-year option, then you franchise them. Then after 6 years, you kick them out.
You think Seattle goes with Washington's own Denzel Boston?
No, they're going to take just another good defensive player.
Because they're actually a good organization. And that's why they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're going to be like, who's the best defensive player available? We're taking that person. Could be Colton Hood because he and Mike McDonald would have been at Michigan at the same time.
This Toledo safety is large.
Yeah. Although I think they're good at safety in Seattle, so.
That's true. I like Keldrick Falk.
The Titans could have come up for Boston, I suppose. To go with Tate. Just be like, we're getting Cam Ward, a bunch of receivers.
Oh, well, speaking of.
I'm still waiting for them to actually show it. They're clapping. Oh, Keldrick Falk.
Maybe actually it's Auburn that's the team that if you're a fan of, you're going to be looking at later maybe in this draft and just being like, how were we not better?
Quarterback. See, at least Ole Miss last year, they had Jackson Dart, and they were still in that position.
They were
Auburn's quarterback was...
Was it the state guy?
Peyton Thorne for a little bit anyways.
Yeah.
Well, Seattle's on the clock, and honestly, the Titans thinking that the Seahawks would take Keldrick Falk is pretty smart. He probably would have been McDonald's pick there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the chalk pick here has always been Jadarian Price because the Seahawks running back room is currently George Halani and nobody else because Ken Walker went to the Chiefs and Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL on like February 14th.
Wait, how did he do that?
It was in the NFC Championship game. So
Charbonnet was hurt for the Super Bowl?
Uh-huh.
Man, I don't even remember that.
So he's going to be out until November.
Yeah, he's out. He's going to be out for the whole season.
Right.
Wow.
So they have no Charbonnet and they have no Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
So, everybody's like, oh, with 32nd pick, they'll take the second best running back. Oh, it's Jadarian Price. Oh, it's going to be Jadarian Price. Now, I have a bet on Mike Washington to be the second running back taken instead at 7-1, which would be horrible because he is bad at football, but he's so athletic. I could see a bad team falling for it, but probably not the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks take a running back here. I think they're too well run of an organization.
Did the Titans significantly change their logo?
Yes, they changed it from a cool logo to this like AI slot bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks very fast food looking.
Yeah, you want to see the worst one? Look up what the soccer team in France, Marseille, did. Olympic Marseille.
Okay.
Their logo to their new logo they're going to.
Does that uniquely offend you?
Yes, because they went from having one of the best badges in all of France, if not the world, to basically copying the Volkswagen logo.
This is kind of what it looks like.
And they're in Marseille. I'm just saying, but it's also just a bad logo. Like it was good before. I hate going with like a classic, good, clean logo to something that anybody could put together. My cat is sleeping with her eyes open. This is really creepy.
How do you know she's sleeping?
Because she just woke up. Oh my goodness. Only her inner eyelids were closed. Her outer eyelids were still open.
Oh, God.
Oh, that is creepy. You know, most mammals do have two sets of eyelids. Humans are unique in that we don't. But that was weird. Schroeder, close it.
Close both eyes. Close all four of your eyes.
She's breathing at least. She's asleep. I was like making noise, doing the fan. She's just out. Okay, well, that's not creepy at all.
Hope the Seahawks do something fun. Just wrap it up with something goofy.
I mean, Jajarian Price here would be super fun for fantasy, I suppose, but and good for me because I have him in the college football league. But I think we're just going to get some defensive player whose name we should remember. He's going to be a Pro Bowler in 2 years.
Something aggressively competent, but not actually that eyebrow raising.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if they took Rodriguez? He'd be a perfect fit. Okay. Some guy with a horrible mustache is coming out here with Roger Goodell.
Hey, us guys with horrible mustaches need to stick together.
This guy looks like if somebody drew Shane Gillis from memory.
I do get a Shane Gillis vibe. Has Roger Goodell been not wearing an undershirt the entire time?
This dude is hyped, though. I like it.
Oh, yeah. No, he's been waiting all day for this.
Yeah. So I was about to say this guy strikes me as a guy who just enjoys life, and then it said he survived a brain tumor. So yeah, I guess so.
I would enjoy life too.
Also, did I just really insult Shane Gillis by saying he looks like he survived a brain tumor?
I feel like that's actually kind of like the jokes Shane Gillis tells about himself. So you're not really you're not really that off from what he talks about in his own way.
Yeah.
Think you might be happy, Dave.
Let's see here.
I think happiness is coming.
My man is cutting a WWE promo into the mic here, so but you could go for him, you know.
I mean, I'm not telling him to stop.
What are you gonna do when the tumor runs wild on you? Oh wait, no, that's not good.
Nope.
Jadarian Price.
That's what we call an intrusive thought, Dave. And you let it win.
Well, it's funny because he survived.
I wonder how many Seahawks fans are actually there. Just hyping them.
Just hyping up the crowd. He's like I said, he's just happy. He's just happy to be. Man, so Notre Dame had 2 first-round running backs on the same team. And didn't make the playoff.
No, they didn't. And then threw a bitch fit and didn't want to play in their bowl game because reasons.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I do think they should have made the playoff, but also beat Miami.
No, you don't. You got to win more games. It's the national championship. I'm okay with it being hard to get in.
Also, join a conference. But as it was, like if I had been picking for that final spot, I too probably would have picked I would have picked Notre Dame. But also, they don't have a leg to stand on to complain because
I wouldn't have picked them over a team that beat them.
I mean, it's not unfair.
How many times has that happened? 2 first-round running backs from the same team.
Notre Dame's done it before. They did it with inside and outside. Elroy Hirsch and Paul, who's the other one? You're old. You were there in the 40s. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside both went in the first round. Say USC did not do it. Lindell White was a second-round pick. Ohio State running back rooms at any point, no. Penn State, no. Alabama with their like Derrick Henry, whatever's. Josh Jacobs was a first-round pick, but there wasn't another one.
Yeah.
Any like the Nebraska, Oklahoma. Like I suppose if Mike Rozier had a Nebraska teammate who was a first-round pick who never did anything, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, right.
Or like if Mike Garrett had a USC teammate who didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But certainly recently, I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure that Notre Dame's actually already done this. All right. Well, that's an exciting first round. Ben, any final thoughts about anything that we saw tonight?
So did you end up with any money, or did we not bring Dave any returns?
I only have $40 back from again having the Mendoza first overall back in October. But that's it so far. I think I have some other like exact order of some things, like exact order of the first 4 running backs where I went Love, Price, and then have some other ones, maybe little things, but no, nothing like last year with the Colson Loveland exactly 10th at 35-1.
Yeah. Above all things, even more than rooting for the Jets, Dave, I'm just rooting for you to make money through all of this. If that meant that the Jets had to lose every game, but you bet on it, then you know what? At least somebody wins.
I appreciate that. You know, I have 590 fantasy baseball teams this year, so
that's just an absurd number, but somehow you still say you don't like baseball, but that's fine.
My highest owned player, Teoscar Hernandez, whoever that is.
He's very good. He's surrounded by players who are better than him, which is why he just gets to hit fastballs right down the middle every time.
And get on base and score runs. He's very undervalued. My highest
every time he gets on base, he will score.
Who do you think my highest owned Yankee is?
I would hope it's Judge, but perhaps it's not.
It's not. The more expensive a player is, the harder it is to get a lot of them.
So is it like Max Fried or Bellinger or
It's Jazz Chisholm.
Oh, well, he's just fun. So
Followed
actually really good in fantasy because he fills up a lot of raw numbers.
Yep, and followed very closely by Ben Rice, who was way too underpriced.
Oh, Ben Rice is like, yeah, he's doing for the actual Yankees what a lot of sleepers do for their fantasy teams, but he's doing that in real life, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, they Ben Rice was going between like pick 95 and 105 for most of the spring. And I was just like, okay, like every time it was coming around, any team would judge, any team with Bellinger, right? It's just like, okay, well, this is who I'm taking here.
Oh, yeah. And for depending on how your leagues are structured, the fact that he has catcher eligibility makes him even more just insane.
No, because it's all infield. So catchers just count as infield. So it doesn't, unless it helps him play more games, maybe because he's got more eligibility.
It wouldn't necessarily, but it's the kind of thing where if you can, in another format, just have a guy who clearly plays first base, but have him be eligible at catcher. It's like having just 2 first basemen, which is insane.
Yes, absolutely. The Ty Simpson pick was bad.
Caden Proctor pick was fun.
Yep. All the trades at the end of the first round were interesting. I can't wait to see what like all the different, like what people got and what they did. Like I think the Bills traded back 19 times. They could have like 17 fifth round picks now to try to fill out their roster.
I don't remember. I feel like I definitely remember the Browns doing that a little bit too. But either way, I think there were interesting.
The Browns traded back a couple times.
To take your framing, it's interesting to see where teams think they are, even more so than what they end up doing. It's just being like, oh no, we think we're ready. And you're kind of like, okay, well, good for you guys. Or maybe a team that's like, well, we actually do have some sort of strategy, and that's why we're trading down, which is also kind of a flex. It just has to, work out.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think the Cowboys had a good draft for the first round.
First round. I would say the Titans did too. Doesn't mean they're actually good at anything, but good for them.
Yeah, and the Jets had 3 first round picks.
Quantity,
for the second time in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's I think we got saved from ourselves by somebody else being stupid enough to take Ty Simpson. So that actually may accrue to our benefit.
Yeah.
But of course nothing does. So what's the point?
Why do any of this?
No, pretty much.
Eat at Arby's. Oh. Okay, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Please be sure to like the stream, share it. I'll be chopping it up over the next week into a bunch of different TikToks. So especially we'll see how some of these takes age here. But Ben, always fun, always a pleasure. So glad you join us for this draft stream each year. It's a great tradition.
Thanks, man. Anytime. Tell Megan I say hi.
Will do. All right, everybody. We will see y'all later. Peace.